It's Kazali's, the biggest and longest running club in Palmerston. Kazali's really is the place to be. You'll be welcomed with a smile. Outstanding food and drink in the bistro, bar and cafe, as well as a kids club, bottle shop and much more. Check out bingo on Saturday mornings, trivia night Wednesdays and everyone's favourite karaoke Saturday nights. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference. Check kazalisnt.com.au.
The wheels are in motion for the year ahead, and at Tyre Power, their best buys on big brand sale is now on. Your #1 destination on Google Maps for safety, Tyre Power is ready to help your family drive safe on the roads. Next road trip, make Tyre Power your first stop and find out why Tyre Power is Australia's best. During the best buys on big brand sale on now, buy 3 get 1 free on selected Falcon passenger tyres. Go and see Luke and Mitchell at Tyre Power Catherine on First Street.
Make your team stand out from the competition with CFS gear. Get sportswear for pretty much any sport, corporate wear for a range of jobs, and school uniforms for the year ahead. CFS gear are local. They know the NT and what you need to succeed. So whether it's on or off the field, on the job or on the books, you can get the ultimate in comfort, performance, durability and style with CFS gear. Serving the NT for over 20 years. Visit cfsgear.com.au.
It's season 6 of the NAB AFL Women's Competition, and the 2022 AFLW Record Season Guide is a must-have. It includes stats and records since the comp began in 2017, details of all 14 clubs, team lists and fixtures, plus analysis of the season ahead. Can the Brisbane Lions defend their 2021 title, or will Melbourne replicate the success of their AFL team? The 2022 AFLW Record Season Guide, digital edition available via sen.com.au and the SEN app, thanks to 4 and 20, Australia's original fan food.
Your local bowls club is seeking competitive teams. You'll need your natural, whose sporting prowess is unmatched. Your technician to roll you in and out of the tightest spots. Your thinker to lead your game plan. Your enforcer to strike when needed. And Steve, he can get the drinks. Local legends want it. Search Bowls Club near me to join a team or start one.
Make it a cool summer with Australian made. Look for genuine Aussie products sporting the green and gold Australian made kangaroo logo. There's more than 20,000 to choose from. Whether you're chasing the dog under a sprinkler, sizzling snags on a durable backyard barbecue, or applying the finest quality sunscreen, buying Australian made is cool because it supports Aussie makers, farmers, retailers and creates Aussie jobs. Visit australianmade.com.au/summer to find genuine Aussie products. Buy Australian made. Make it a cool summer.
I'm Laurie Lawrence. Gee, we had a successful year in the pool in Tokyo. Closer to home, we had our worst year in a decade. 25 little Aussie children drowned, most in swimming pools and bathtubs. It's a tragedy. 25 families will never get it over. Let's get child drownings down to 0. Fence the pool, shut the gate. Teach your kids to swim, it's great. Supervise, watch your mate, and learn how to resuscitate. Kids Alive, do the 5.
Life is full of choices. A refreshing frappe or the original bold blend or the smooth blend at Muzz Buzz, located centrally near the airport on Osgood Drive. Will you be bold or smooth today? The choice is yours. Muzz Buzz, great coffee on the go.
You're listening to SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse, always here for you, and for cfsgear.com.au.
Back to both teams out on the field, just going through their warm-ups. The lights really starting to take effect here at TIO Stadium. Saints to the right of your dial, Wanderers to the left. Milestone men all out there. And as Shannon Byrne said only moments ago, Wanderers, they had a choice of 3 banners. The remainder of the team, which time they could run through. They did it fairly evenly, actually, following 1 player each. And for the St Mary's Footy Club, well, Henry Labastida led out along with his children, breaking the banner in fine fashion. And now they're all doing their warm-ups. So looking forward to this one. Coin toss, run and 1. The captains moving back to their teams. Looking at Nate Paredes there, just having a quiet chat with his coach there in Chopper Vallejo. So Brenton, the St Mary's team, how is that looking this evening?
They've been mixing form throughout the year, but I think, St Mary's are accustomed to how they prepare for finals, and they'll be, sort of hitting form at the right time of the year and trying to settle their team and get the balance right. But they match up pretty good. They've got some big bodies, through their midfield. They've got some decent-sized ruckmen. I think that are, you know, going to have a good battle with Joe Bastian Priest. You know, their forwards, they've got the champ, Jackson Calder down there. I'm not sure if he's a leading goalkeeper.
He's leading him 49, yep.
He's a target. He's very difficult to defend. He's got some long arms. Just watching him put one straight through the middle right now. But look, they've got some good players. Nate Paredes, he's an accumulator. He's just smart. He knows where to go. His work ethic is terrific, and he just reads it better than most. Kieran Parnell, I've liked his return to the NTFL, and you know, coming back here and gives him a lot of drive across half-back. Dylan Lance been outstanding, terrific player, great addition to St Mary's. Shannon Rioli, he's been quiet throughout the year, and I'm really looking forward to, you know, seeing Shannon, you know, peak at the right time and really hit some form as he comes into finals. Joey Salmon, he's another one. He can be a match winner, but he can also be a coach killer too. You know, like he's got to get it right. He's a terrific player. He's got great speed. He can certainly turn a game, but he's got to be in the right headspace. Jacob Long, just a kid that's been around. He feels like he's been around for 10 years, but he's probably only 22 years old or something like that. But he can play anywhere down back. He's a terrific user of the footy. They can push him forward at a pinch and try and get a crumb. So the new addition to St Mary's, Aaron Heppel, you know, terrific, you know, sort of player.
Brother Rolf.
Yeah, that's it. Dyson, and great to have him. And you know, players coming into our competition of that calibre is terrific. So, and Klusky was the last one I just wanted to mention. He's just a workhorse that keeps going, Jack Klusky. So, as I said, I highlighted 11 at Wanderers, and just by coincidence, there was 11 on St Mary's.
And touching moment too, they allowed Shane Thorne and Thomas Motlop to be out there to toss the coin with Paredes, the captain for St Mary's. So, you know, these are big occasions, but it doesn't get bigger for this, as you mentioned. Both of these sides playing for a double chance, and this is exciting. It's exciting for us to call. It's exciting, hopefully, for you all listening out there. The grass is green. We've had so much rain. It's been a great wet season for us. Dry track at the moment. Lights are on, but it is currently feels like 37 degrees at 6 o'clock at night with the first bounce. So, I mean, we might get a bit chilly in here with the aircon, but yeah, this is going to be very, very exciting.
Not complaining, Shannon, compared to where we were calling last weekend out at Norbuild Oval. Was a terrific match, that one, but gee, that was warm. That was very warm. Out in the open, sun on the back of the legs.
Yeah, no, well, Shannon Rioli's very sorry too you missed it, because Shannon Rioli joined us last week, but he had made a really good point after Christmas. St Mary's have really struggled for a couple of games because of COVID, hit the squad. So, you know, for them to be where they are, both fully fit teams at the moment going into finals, this is exciting times, but each week it could be very, very different who's out in the paddock.
Should make no turn, of course, not one of the top 11 that you've talked about, Brenton, but certainly a famous name, and the first opportunity we've had to call him playing for the St Mary's Football Club. Ethan Bowden, I think playing his third or fourth game for St Mary's, son of Kane Bowden, a grandfather, of course, the mighty Mike Bowden, who used to play for the Richmond Football Club, premiership player for Richmond, so his grandson playing his third or fourth match now for St Mary's, so just wonderful to see juniors again coming through. Of course, his uncle is the chairman here at AFL NT.
Yeah, another uncle, Joel Bowden, former captain of Richmond. Yeah, he wouldn't be happy he's in the green and gold, would he?
Probably not. About to get underway here. Second or third spot up for grabs here. The double chance, that's what's important. The ball bounced down beautifully. One down by Sebastian Priest for the Eagles. Second touch came from Ryan Smith. Quick kick out of the middle came from Cabillo. Thomas Motlop almost had the first mark of the match. Picked up by Yaron. Tumbling a punt inside 50. Came off somebody's shins. Out to Brodie Newman. Newman delivers it forward to Brenton Motlop. Kick out wide. And a nice kick it is too. Mark taken out there by Marlon Motlop, who's been in terrific form for the Eagles. That mark taken at right half back. Chips inboard, goes to a teammate in Taylor, puts him under pressure, gets the ball back, goes to Taylor. It was deemed a throw, so the early pressure coming from St Mary's here, and the free kick going to Mark Clue. Mitchell Taylor, gee, should have been called a 50, wasn't. Mark Clue up towards Calder. Calder crashes the pack. It was called play on. Shannon Rioli handled the ball beautifully. Snaps around the corner. Kicks the first goal of the evening. And that goal comes within the first minute and a half of this first quarter. Brenton Toy, I thought that was going to be called a free kick for in the back with Jackson Calder crashing the pack. The umpire raised the hand to the mouth and then decided against it. Shannon Rioli on the board.
I like it. It sends a message early in the game. Don't drop back into my space, and if you do, I'm going to come in and crash the pack. I don't think there was anything untoward in that, and it's Joel Cabillo that showed the courage to come back. But Calder really made that contest and brought the ball to ground, and obviously there's a few extra spare numbers there. Shannon Rioli mentioned his ability to really turn a game. Great to see him get a good start.
So the Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted Tyre experts, one straight. St Mary's Wanderers yet to score.
Calder gets a tap to it again. St Mary's get a clearance out. That's 2 for them, straight into the forward 50. Nick Yaron gets it. He turns around, running through and putting it on the boot was Salmon, and Salmon's just missed to the right. And 4 possessions quickly, and they have had another shot on goal, so that's a behind. They're 7-0, leading St Mary's now. 2 minutes gone, and they're about to go back inside their forward 50 for the 3rd time.
Dylan Lamb with ball in hand, took a really good mark. Goes with the right boot, up towards Calder, who takes the mark, 12 metres out from goal. Well, that was just loose checking, really, to leave him a clean run. And I was checking who that player is, actually delivered it to him. The right foot kick was not Dylan Land. I think it might have been Heppel in the end. So Jackson Calder, left of centre, no real angle to speak of. He'll kick from 15 metres from goal. So an opportunity here, 3rd scoring shot already for St Mary's. Calder goes back, chips through and kicks the goal. Well done, Jackson Calder. Kicks his 1st goal, and that's his 50th goal for the season. 1st goal for the match, 50th goal, and he's the 1st player this season to reach 50 goals. So Jackson Calder on the board. More importantly, for Tyre Power, the best buys on big brand sale now on St Mary's. 2-1-13. Wanderers yet to score. 3 minutes gone in the 1st.
Just the height. Calder already, Wheatra and Brenton Motlop have been changing on him, and that's going to be a long afternoon for them. It could be.
And Klusky it was who delivered the footy to him, Shannon.
So 2-1 to St Mary's, yet to score Wanderers. Wobbly bounce in the middle. Calder got Ryan Smith got it. He got it back, the ruckman. He got a little nudge and he kicked it inside the forward 50. 4th entry for St Mary's, but it is a great mark, as you can hear there, from Newman. And they're going to go on the outer with Taylor going on the outer wing. Keep an eye, though. Ryan Smith, this is big news, coming hobbling, it seemed, a little from the field after that ruck work as the ball's pierced into a great chest mark from Liam Patrick. He's 60 metres from goal. He chips it in. He was looking for Shane Thorne, the milestone man, but it's been cut off by St Mary's, and they're going to get out of their defensive 50.
Well, players on the loose everywhere at half-back for St Mary's. The mark taken by Dylan Lant, chips it forward, goes inboard and finds Geordie McMurtry. He goes into the middle of the ground all by himself. Paredes shut down, however, pretty quickly there by Zelio Casemiro. Steps around him, kicks long inside 50. Target is Calder, got hands to it, couldn't take the grab. At the fall of the ball there was Alexander Markflew. Good tackle laid by Yaron as the ball came out. Toa towed that one inside 50. Mitchell Taylor cleaned it up nicely, kicked it out wide, and goes to the ever-reliable Marcus Totham at right half-back.
Totham goes even further out to the wing. Good taken mark by Taylor. Ugly kick, though. Misses Marlon Motlop. Dribbles to the player in Priest. Priest gets a handball back to Marlon Motlop. Now he chips it high up and under into the right forward pocket. And taking an easy chest mark is Liam Patrick. And he is going back. He's going to settle it here. He's going to have to kick it from 50 metres on a 45-degree angle. So after an ugly kick from Taylor, found its way into the middle. 2 unmarked Wanderers player. And they find in the right forward pocket an unmarked Liam Patrick. Liam Patrick gives it everything he's got. He's got the distance, but it just falls short a metre. Pat flies in the middle. St Mary's now are going to try and mop it up. They do through defensively. Lant has it. He kicks it out further to the commentary wing to Labastida, who's playing his 200th tonight. Big things for him. Trying to get it out, and the handball under pressure. Great work from the Wanderers side, and another quick forward entry for Wanderers after it was turned over, and that man Liam Patrick has been dangerous already. Takes a chest mark out in front. He's going to have a shot on goal directly in front. He'll have to hit this 45 metres. No breeze to speak of too, Brenton.
Yeah, he's kind of struggled with the distance that last kick.
Wasn't it? A very
close
up and
to the man
under.
on the mark, yeah.
So Liam Patrick having his second shot on goal in a matter of a minute. He comes in. It is again got snow on it as it goes straight over the hat of the umpire. Didn't clear the umpire by much either, but that was a 45-metre kick directly in front, and he didn't disappoint this time. So they get their first for the afternoon, and they now trail by 7 points. 7 minutes gone, and it's St Mary's with the lead.
You know, it also didn't disappoint my predictions, but I've got a 50% chance of getting it right. Those players that were involved, Mitchell Taylor, Liam Patrick, you know, quality players getting their hands on the footy, and as you said, Shad, very dangerous when they go forward. You just see the speed of the transition of Wanderers. It'll be a concern for St Mary's.
It's a bit of a concern too. No Ryan Smith out there, the ruck for Saints. He's gone down the...
No, he was doing some exercises out the front.
He's just gone back into the tunnel, so not out there at the moment.
Ball bounced down. Toa up against Sebastian Priest. Priest wins that one down easily. Goes towards Totham. Totham taken without the footy by Henry Lavastida. Ball comes back to him in the middle of the ground. Just forward of centre. 7 minutes gone in the first quarter. Long kick down towards the target in there, and Patrick scooting around. Patrick cleaned it up off the pack and misses to the near side. Liam Patrick in the game. 1-1 with his first 3 kicks. To the Tyre Power scoreboard, 2-1-13 plays 1-1-7. Saints in the lead.
Robertson gets it in from the kick in for St Mary's. He decides to go for a run, puts it down the commentary wing, and well read by Joel Cabillo. Diving mark, and that's an intercept mark that they needed, Wanderers. He goes short, and that's not gone long enough to Newman. That was great work from Salmon, who was coming onto the field. Ball now down on the ground. Running for it is Casemiro. Salmon, though, there for St Mary's, picks it up off the ground, gets it inside the forward 50, looking for Calder. He's one-on-one with Wheater. He's got a lot of space. He picks it up off the ground, gets a hand to Salmon. Handball down to Salmon, and he's just overrun it, tried to kick it off the ground, and he was directly in front. And Wanderers, though, under a mountain of pressure towards their defensive 50. Down on all fours is the Wanderers players, and they come out the commentary wing, going up for it and taking a good mark, probably a mark that might have got chopped on the hands. Now it's turned over. Kluski for St Mary's. Looks up, finds Paredes. Paredes goes in the right forward pocket, and he picks out Yaron. And Yaron's going to have a shot on goal, as I can see lightning, and that was thunder. So one thing we can't have around here, and one game that St Mary's have been affected by is lightning. So Yaron with the mark, and there is a bit of lightning, as you might have heard in the effects there, thunder as well. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on the bomb. St Mary's 13, leading Wanderers 7. 9 minutes gone, end-to-end stuff. Yaron goes over the paint of 50. He doesn't have the direction, and it's going to be rushed through by Wanderers defenders. And Daniel Wheater is happy to see that through for a point. So St Mary's 14, leading Wanderers 7.
Just angled right and sort of poked at it. Didn't get any momentum behind his kick.
Mitchell Taylor now to bring the footy back into play. Has a couple of bounces, now goes long through half-back, right up to right half-back. No mark taken. Wanderers at the fall of the footy. Tackles laid, players brought to ground, and the umpire says, I will have it just forward of right half-back here for Wanderers, trying to move out of their defensive area. You're an SEN top-end footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au. Saints come away with it through Kluski. Little handball out wide, cut off there by Vincent Tassone for the Eagles. Kick up through centre wing. Wanderers had possession, then lost it. Little chip kick coming out again. Again cut off by the Eagles out wide. And there'll be a boundary throw in at left half forward here for St Mary's, putting on good pressure there for a moment. Score check here, 10 minutes in on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Kick straight with a free 5-minute safety check. St Mary's 2-2-14, Wanderers 1-1-7.
Toa with the number 23 for St Mary's in the ruck, goes up against Adam. Toa gets a nice little hand down, and running off it was a St Mary's player straight inside the forward 50. Chest mark dropped for St Mary's, and the whistle is going to go, and it's actually going to go towards Wanderers, so they're going to get out of trouble here easily. Left back pocket. So that was Grenfell for St Mary's that infringed in the right forward pocket. So now it is St Mary's on the outer wing trying to pick it up. Wanderers players, though, are there. Getting it off the ground is Clee. Clee goes down the outer wing, looking for Patrick, who's already got a goal this afternoon. He overruns it for Wanderers. Kicked hurriedly inside. Bates couldn't pick it up. Number of players in the middle of the park, including Paredes, the captain for St Mary's, and it's been chopped off by Wanderers in the middle of the park, but it's not going to go too far as it was an ugly kick and St Mary's are going to get out of trouble.
Well, only momentarily. The kick was out to Joseph Salmon, and he's been infringed, was the call by Mitchell Taylor. So Salmon to take the free kick. Long kick down towards the paint of 50. Newman, he is the interceptor, and he intercepts yet again in between two Saints players. Delivers the ball nicely. Then by hand, the ball comes out to Lucio, high up and under was poor, lands in the arms of Nate Paredes, goes dangerously into the middle of the ground, finds Yaron, spins around, evades Thorne, little chip, that's a good kick to the lead of Grenfell, put it into the space and made him run to it, and Grenfell takes the mark, 45 from goal, 45-degree angle, right of centre.
Yeah, just, I guess, a poor decision by the Wanderers player to come back inside Coluccio, and the execution wasn't much better either. Came back in, turned the football over. St Mary's able to capitalise, and as you said, great kick into space. Grenfell
On the kick, he starts at left and it stays well left. So another minor score on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Kicking goals with 25% off Falcon Tyres. 2-2, 14 plays, 1-1-7, 12 minutes gone in this first quarter. The U's and R's from Shannon Byrne because of all the lightning.
Wow. Daniel Wheater goes with the kick in. He goes for a bit of a run. Wanderers looking for Newman. Good little hand from Robinson for St Mary's has dispossessed them. So Wanderers now are trying to get on top of St Mary's. Wheater went again, and it's going to be taken over by Salmon. 40 metres around in their right forward pocket. He's been busy first couple of minutes, Salmon. So the ball's going to be tossed in. 40 metres from the right post for St Mary's. They've had the majority of ball inside their forward 50. Tossed in. Number of players asking for it. Calder was there in the ruck. Still no sign of Ryan Smith. Handball goes from Paredes, and he gives it out to Lant, and Lant with a snap-on goal running around the body. Lant gets a goal, and Lant picks up their third for the afternoon. And great desperation for St Mary's. They go 3-3-21, leading Wanderers 1-1-7. 14 minutes gone in the opening term.
Yeah, St Mary's just better and tougher into the contest. Newman seemed to be playing for a free kick there, but St Mary's players, Rioli just gets the handball out, and just some really quick hands. Paredes under pressure, getting it over the land under pressure, but just tough in the clinches, St Mary's, and really slick with their handball and just clean.
Great play indeed. And on that Tyre Power scoreboard, your trusted tyre expert, St Mary's 3-3-21, Wanderers 1-1-7. All that scoring for the Eagles is by Liam Patrick, the former Gold Coast Suns player. 14 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Bit of lightning around, bit of thunder around. Toa beaten for it by Sebastian Priest. Can't clear the middle though. Paredes gathers, feigns the handball. Now chips to the left and goes to Dylan Lant, who goes on his left. 52 metres from goal. Bangs away. And he has...
downfield.
Minor score, and there is a free kick
after disposal.
Yeah, it was hit after kicking it.
I think you'll have a choice to either take the point or have a shot, or not. They're going to pay it downfield.
It is going to be paid downfield, and the kick is going to go to... Well, there's a little bit of confusion here.
I think Calder was the closest to the goal line, so they'll give it to him.
Grenfell was trying to move away in any event.
It's not a 50-metre penalty, so I don't know why they're asking for the player to come down who kicked it.
Yeah.
Now Calder's got it. They've got it worked out.
I think they've now sorted it out. So Calder, free kick. Man on the mark is Mitchell Taylor. He's about a metre away from the goal line. But Calder, 10 metres away from the post, goes with the left boot. He is a right footer, doesn't make any difference, puts it straight through the middle. And on the Tyre Power scoreboard, he does exactly what he's required to do. Kick straight with a free 5-minute safety check. And St Mary's all of a sudden out to 4-3, leading Wanderers 1-1-7, 15 and a half gone in this first quarter.
That's no slide on Daniel Wheater. That's a gimme for Calder. I was a bit surprised that the leading goal kicker didn't rush in and just go, yep, that ball's mine, even if it was wasn't their kick, you would have taken the responsibility. But just unnecessary late contact up the ground. And we called a game a few weeks ago with Wanderers and Waratahs, and it was Wanderers and their ability to hold their nerve, you know. And I think it's little things like that that they want to try and rule out sooner rather than later.
Toa comes off, and he's the backup ruckman. Now they've got Grenfell coming from the forward line. Still no sign of Ryan Smith, their number one ruckman. So Grenfell goes up, but Priest, who's been rucking very well this season for Wanderers, gets it a tap down, cleared out from Wanderers inside their forward 50 and one kick. Liam Patrick tries to pick it up off the ground. It's a hurried kick off his left, and it's so hurried it goes out of bounds on the full. St Mary's will get a free kick, right back pocket. So this could be big news if Ryan Smith is out for the game. Ball chip to Paredes, the captain. He's got no one standing on the mark. He goes down the commentary wing, goes down and finds Grenfell right in the middle. He gave it off a handball. It was dropped. Comes back out to Jacob Long. Long goes back to Lant, who kicked a goal earlier in this quarter. Lant with a lovely kick inside. It should have been taken by Heppel. Spent it before he even took it, so it's been dropped and turned over by Wanderers, and they've been made to pay St Mary's as Shane Thorne, who celebrates his 150th tonight, takes a chest mark, 50 metres, 45-degree angle. I've actually got the breeze at their back at the moment. Storms are nearby.
Storm around, has an effect.
So Shane Thorne with his first attempt on goal tonight. Just runs around off the mark, and he's hooked it to the left. So they pick up another behind, and they trail by 18 points here. So it's St Mary's 27, Wanderers 8. Hope you're enjoying SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au.
Saints bring the ball back into play. Kick goes out to Gallus. Takes that mark in the left back pocket. Looks to play on one way and then goes another. That's a really dangerous kick close to the boundary line. Players make it look okay. Bowden with the handball. Now scooting along the wing, Kieran Parnell. That's a great run. Goes out to Justin Robinson. Back to Parnell. Goes with the right boot. Shep just clears Lavastida. Was too fierce for him. Jacob Long comes in, puts the body in, tries to get the ball out, does do so. Flicked it out nicely to Calder. Went by hand to Yaron. And then Yaron unceremoniously taken high. The arm around the neck from Cabillo. So Yaron in the left forward pocket will take the free kick, and that free kick was there every day of the week. Give me no complaints about that one. Yaron quickly plays on, goes with the right boot, snap around the corner and puts it straight through the middle. Says that's how you do it, I'll make you pay. And the fifth goal on the board for St Mary's. They move on to 5-3, 33. Wanderers 1-2-8, 18.5 gone thanks to Tyre Power, kicking goals with 25% off Falcon tyres.
St Mary's just more efficient with their possession. Wanderers have been playing okay, but haven't been able to capitalise when they've gone forward. Liam Patrick's been kind of their shining light down there. Shane Thorne's had one shot, but St Mary's, lots of avenues towards goals. They've got some tools, their smalls, their midfielders are getting involved. So there's some worrying signs for the Eagles in this first quarter.
Yeah, worrying signs with the way St Mary's are going at the moment. Number of options as well. Grenfell goes up against Priest. Priest read it well, though, down to Paredes, the captain. No-look hand pass. He gets it, and Tottenham gets a kick out for Wanderers, but the ball is going to go back to Grenfell for St Mary's. He was hit after he got rid of the ball for St Mary's while he was rucking, so he's in the middle of the park. Big, long kick. Calder going up, looking for a mark, and Calder's going to get a free kick anyway. Daniel Wheatra has been called for holding. As Calder went up for the pack mark, the umpire right on the spot has called Daniel Wheatra for holding the jumper. And
50-metre penalty, Shannon.
50-metre penalty. Middle of the park.
So Calder to line up for his third, Shannon.
And he's just going to trot in and just dink it over the goal umpire. He hit that 4 metres out. So that is a big one for Wanderers. Discipline will have to be a key focus here, as St Mary's now have kicked their sixth. It's 6-3-39 to Wanderers 1-2-8. 21 minutes gone.
Yeah, again, St Mary's just continuing to pile on the pressure. Big Jackson Calder spoke about his matchup, and Daniel Wheater, he's a tough defender. He might be a little bit undersized, but he's going to give you everything that he's got. But that height is just going to be an issue all night for the Eagles.
In the middle, Toa up against Priest. Priest does it beautifully, knocked it down wonderfully well to Clee. Clee off to Marlon Motlop. Long bomb down towards the goal square. Mark almost taken down there by Holdner for the green and gold. Gathers possession, whips it off to Green. Green out wide, looking for and finding Robinson. Saints on the move now, out towards half-back and finding Klusky. Stylish player, goes with the right boot, finds a teammate in Parnell. Play on was the call, and play on he does indeed. Parnell just goes for a run. Runs right around his immediate opponents. Handballs out wide to Lavastida. Lavastida, poor kick, but finds a teammate on the bounce. That's Heppel. Heppel delayed the handball beautifully. Went to Salmon, cruising through it. Salmon hit after he disposed of the footy. He was hit hard, but he gets up and there's a free kick downfield. Calder takes it, plays on to Marclou, and Marclou from the goal square kicks St Mary's 7th. Just wonderful team play. And for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert, St Mary's 7-3, 45 points. Wanderers 1-2-8. Here on SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au. Dominic McCormack, Shannon Byrne, and in the shadows of the Thunder and Lightning, Brent Toy.
Yeah, just quick movement again and just slick with their hands and to players, streaming towards goal. Brenton Motlop there, the Wanderers defender, I think he committed to the spoil and was ultimately going to take body at the same time as well. So free kick downfield, another goal to St Mary's, really adding to the challenge for the Eagles.
Adams in the ruck for Wanderers, goes up against Toa. Toa gets a tap down, trying to get it out was Tottenham over the ball, and getting a handball out is Maclou. And it's another clearance for St Mary's. Calder out on the lead, and Calder takes an easy uncontested chest mark. Had to slide in the end to get the distance, but Daniel Wheater did not have a hand on him as he took that chest mark.
And Shannon, another great exit from the centre from Klusky as well.
And when you've got the likes of Calder and even Grenfell, who's back inside the forward line with leads like that, they've been well honoured. Calder looking for his 4th of the afternoon, and it's not going to go the distance, and it's not going to be picked up by St Mary's, and Wanderers are going to get out through the middle of the park. That's the man you called Klusky. One-handed just pick up beautifully on the outer wing. Wanderers, though, have turned it over from St Mary's. They're going to try and get it into their forward 50, and running it out of play is Green on the outer wing. And St Mary's still have no Ryan Smith, who hasn't come back out of the dressing rooms.
Here he is, jogging along.
Just come out right now. There you go. What's the strapping? Oh, it's the quad. I think he might have done his, he was exercising his hammy, stretching his hammy.
Yep.
So that's not going to be good going into finals.
Ruck contest now. Toa bringing the footy down, gets it down to Land. Quick kick up to centre wing, taken by Shannon Rioli, giving some treatment afterwards. Needs to get rid of it as he plays on. Little untidy kick into the middle, taken by Paredes. He's put under pressure. Well done, the Eagles. Ball coming up towards centre half forward. Coluccio gets it out to Thomas Modlock, the 208-game player for the Eagles, and Liam Patrick bursting onto it 35 metres out. Went to go the snap on the right boot and kicked the ball on the wrong side. Kicks it behind to the left. Was all set up perfectly for him. Liam Patrick one behind on the board. Thanks to Tyre Power. Best buys on brick brand sale now on Wanderers 1-2. In fact, 139. St Mary's are on 7-3, 45.
St Mary's get out of the defensive 50. Running on it hard was Robinson. He picked it up, was able to wheel inside to Lant, who's kicked a goal in this opening term. Lant goes around 1, goes around 2, chips it inside to Klusky, who's had a great couple of minutes. Klusky looks down, looks into the left forward pocket, and he finds Calder on the chest. And Calder will line up for another shot on goal. And that's another time that Klusky has delivered that beautifully on his chest. He's got 3 already for the afternoon, and it's only 25 minutes gone in this match. Calder from the left pocket this time. He'll have to hit it 35 metres. Calder, he celebrated as soon as that came off the boot. He points to Gillespie, and that picks up another goal for St Mary's. This has been an 8-goal term for the Saints. They are 8-3-51, leading Wanderers 1-3-9 as the siren goes, and that has been a huge quarter for St Mary's. Both teams were playing for a second shot going into finals, as this is the final game of the season for the both sides. But St Mary's absolutely blowing them out of the park. Lots to talk about and dissect when we come back, and we'll be back in just a moment.
You know what great mates Territorians can be. Always willing to lend a hand, or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know. So get a quote today. TIO. We're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
As well as a kids club, bottle shop and much more. Check out bingo on Saturday mornings, trivia night Wednesdays and everyone's favourite karaoke Saturday nights. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference. Check kazaliesnt.com.au.
You're listening to SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse, always here for you, and for cfsgear.com.au.
Back to TIO Stadium, Marara. Warm evening here, but I tell you what, it's been pretty hot footy from the St Mary's Footy Club. It is only quarter time. St Mary's leading by 42 points, 8-3-51 to 1-3-9. I did not see that coming. Jackson Calder's kicked 4 goals for St Mary's to be the dominant goal kicker on the ground. For the Eagles, they have only one goal kicker, Liam Patrick. What can they do in this second quarter? Players back in position, the umpires ready to go. And Ryan Smith back out on the ground, to our surprise, up against Sebastian Priest. Priest wins that one down easily. Paredes will get a possession out of the middle. Handballs to no one in particular. Priest comes in hard, did beautifully. Challenged Shannon Rioli to the footy and got the footy. Got it out to Thomas Motlop. He's dispossessed. Nice little handball off to Klasky. Spins around in the tackle. Gets it to Shannon Rioli. Long bomb up into forward 50. Calder pushed out of position. Ball thumped away from him by Wheatra. Ball spills from Casemiro. And free kick will go to Brandon Grenfell. He took Casemiro in the tackle and he dropped the footy. So Grenfell, the big man, who's come back into this side in the last few weeks, and the ball has not been delivered back to Grenfell on the full. I've been saying for weeks now that since Christmas, the umpires have been red hot on their 50-metre penalties. Grenfell receives a 50-metre penalty. He's marched to the goal line. And Brodie Newman from Wanderers, to his absolute credit, has gone back to stand on the line to show what needs to be done. But Grenfell, we've gone 1 minute, and Grenfell has the first goal for the second quarter on the board. Can you believe it? They now lead by 48 points. St Mary's 9-3-57 to Wanderers 1-3-9, thanks to Muzz Buzz. Great coffee on the go.
Certainly the free kick was there, just came out, and Casemiro unable to get a fist on the football and was paid for incorrect disposal. But I did watch the return of the football, and it was thrown back, and it was thrown back pretty high, but it was kind of one of those ones that the player let it go. I don't know if I didn't see it properly, but it was in the area that he could have caught it, so lucky to get the 50.
Smith goes up against Priest. Priest gets it again, but it goes in favour of Lant for St Mary's. Ball down on the ground. Arching his back is Stanley Tipalura, picked up for Wanderers. Marcus Totham has it. He kicks it out to the safety of the commentary wing. Thomas Motlop is there. He just pads it forward. The man that's played 208 games for Wanderers and breaking the all-game record for the Eagles. He gets a little handball off, and it goes chips to Taylor, who the defensive player has run all the way down from defensive 50. He goes into the right forward pocket and finds Shane Thorne. So good work from Wanderers, just clearing it out of the congestion, going down the entry of the wing. Shane Thorne, though,
should suit his style. He angles right, he hooks it left, and hopes for that left to right drift to come back with the footy.
Standing outside the boundary line now, in the right pocket. Goes over the paint of 50. Shane Thorne needing one for Wanderers. It is dead straight. It's dead straight. And it's just missed the main post. And that's by centimetres. So they pick up a point and they move to 10. It's St Mary's, though, who lead by 47 points here at TIO Stadium. Second quarter gone, 3 minutes.
Green to bring the footy in for the green and gold. Runs his full measure from fullback, long kick out towards halfback. Brandon Grenfell splits the pack, gets the ball off to Yaron. Yaron, nice little touch to Klasky. Klasky, beautiful pass up towards Calder, and Daniel Wheatra reading it beautifully on this occasion. The double fister straight out of bounds at left half forward for St Mary's, and the boundary throw in. You're an SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au. We've called that a few times. Klasky to Calder.
As the ball's tossed in, it's very, very shallow. Marcus Totham got in the way, and they're going to say that Smith pushed him out of the way, but I think it was a shallow throw-in for the defence of St Mary's. Free kick to Wanderers. Thomas Motlop got a kick inside the forward 50, but it's been cut off by St Mary's defence. Gallus gets a cross kick. Mark Lou is out in front. He kicks it into the middle of the park. Wanderers, though, trying to pick it up through Shane Thorne. They do in the end, piercing left foot, and on the second grab, Liam Patrick's going to take a mark for Wanderers. And we've seen he just handballs it off, so Liam Patrick didn't like the distance, handballed off, and a one-step shot on goal from Marlon Motlop. And Liam Patrick didn't like his distances like we saw in the first quarter, so they get their first goal for the quarter, second goal for the match, but they still have a mountain of work to do. They trail by 41 points.
Yeah, it's just good work by the Eagles there. Nice pass by Thorne on his not-preferred. Liam Patrick had to reach and had 2 bites at the cherry, but just smart enough to know his capabilities. Gave the handball off to Marlon Motlop, who put that one through. But Liam Patrick is kind of one of those things that makes you happy and sad at the same time. At the moment, he's the only light that they've got down there, so I'm happy for him that he's playing, but it's kind of sad that he's got no mates down there as well.
Ball back in the middle. Toa up against Priest. Down at full forward for Wanderers. Alex Wheatro lining up against Holner. Bounce is a good one. One down by Toa. Priest, however, got hold of it, got a little toe poke to it, cut off there by Paredes, coming through strongly. Klasky, handball out to Toa. Can he get rid of it? He's tackled, he's lost a footy. Good pressure here coming from the Eagles in the middle of the ground. Mitchell Taylor does well to get it out. Wanderers kick forward, but be cut off now at right half back by Kieran Parnell. Looking to steady here for Saints. Handball's off to Green. Hasn't really got a target to go to. Handball's behind Gallus. That's a terrible turnover by St Mary's. Ball spills to Marlon Motlop. He's a good user. Goes towards Liam Patrick. Parnell went a little bit too early with the leap. The ball comes back to Patrick. He's pushed off his kick. Looking slow, Liam Patrick. Pushed off the footy. And Saints come across half-back, and the mark taken by Mark Clute.
Mark Clute decides to go into the middle of the park. Klasky dropped a mark he should have taken. Probably a little confusion between him and Toa. Still ball down on the ground in dispute. Thomas Motlop picks it up for Wanderers. It's gone forward. Joel Cabillo kicks it off the ground. Just outside there, forward 50. Down on all fours was Priest for Wanderers, but it is St Mary's that cut it off. Klasky just puts a hurried, quick kick straight down the middle of the park. Trying to run through and pick it up is Casemiro. He doesn't get it cleanly. Paredes, the captain for St Mary's, does. He gets a little chip to Yaron. Yaron from the right forward pocket. No one was home, but he's just got it to the right, and they pick up a behind. So they now have a lead of 42 points, 7 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Daniel Wheatro to bring the footy into play for the Eagles, looking to bring it out wide. Stanley Tipalora offers a lead, and his options are cutting off, and his option that he went to, Tassone, fell over. Mark Clute picks the footy up, long bomb down towards the goal square. Wasn't the kick that Saints needed at that moment. Again cut off by the Eagles' defence. And they look to steady. A little bit more pressure coming from the Eagles early stages of this second quarter, which is good to see. Long kick out wide, cut off immediately there for St Mary's by Geordie McMurtry. Brings the footy into centre half forward. Another poor kick and cut off here by Marlon Motlop at centre half back.
Marlon Motlop asking for Lant, the man on the mark, to go back a bit, and I think he was just holding it up. There was no lead. Shane Thorne was in the middle of the park, but he went to the outer wing. They decided to go down the outer wing. They were looking for Liam Patrick. Now it's turned over by St Mary's. Lant's going to get it inside the forward 50, but they're going to say Liam Patrick was disposed of after he got rid of the ball. So Liam Patrick is going to have a free kick at the centre mark of the outer wing. Light on here at TIO Stadium. The storm never hit us. It went around. Apparently it hit my washing on the line though. As the ball's kicked out into the left forward pocket for Wanderers, and it's going to be cut off by St Mary's, and there's another 50-metre penalty. That's the second for the night against Wanderers, and they're going to get out of trouble easily. St Mary's leading 58 to Wanderers 16. 9 minutes gone, second quarter.
Keppel with ball in hand. Man on the market, half forward, just a little chip sideways. Now the driving ball inside, attacking 50, cut off by Brodie Newman. Gee, does a mountain of work down there, high up and under as he tried to come out. Ball marked by Zach Robinson, and on the lead was Grenfell. Couldn't take the mark. Brenton Motlop on the charge, so too Zach Robinson meets him. Grenfell picks it up, pops it up inside 50. Shannon Rioli goes for the footy, was spoiled by Zelio Casemiro. Yaron came in strongly, picked it up, had a crack at goal. He's dumped as he attempted the kick, and he kicked it out of bounds on the full. You're on SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au. We've gone 9 minutes in this quarter, 9-4-58. St Mary's Wanderers 2-4-16.
He goes in, Liam, that's Taylor. Now they're going to go out of their defensive 50 on the outer wing. Wanderers go down the outer wing. leading out in front, run right underneath the old scoreboard. There's 2 Wanderers players. They weren't able to pick it up cleanly. And the ball's going to be tossed in on the outer side. Darwin, Northern Territory up on the TIO Stadium old scoreboard. We now have a new fancy digital one. What do they do with that old one, do you think, Brenton?
Put a mural of Dominic McCormick up there or something.
Please don't do it. From that contest now, the ball pushed out wide, comes to Mark Clue at half-back. He's stripped by Thomas Motlop, drops the footy. Heppel was taken in a tackle as well. The umpire just letting it go here. Now he comes in and says, I will have it. Just at left half forward here for the Eagles. Pushing far more strongly than they did at any stage in the first quarter. Toa goes up in the ruck contest, wins it down. Mark Clue can't take it. Socket off the ground by Coluccio, gets it forward. Parnell couldn't pick it up. Alex Wheater did beautifully. Goes to Thomas Motlop, snaps on goal. Bounces once in the right forward pocket and out of bounds for a boundary throw in. 5 metres around from the Eagles' goals. 16 minutes gone, 58 plays 16 on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Kick straight with a free 5-minute safety check. You are on SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au. Dominic McCormack, Brenton Toy and Shannon Byrne with you here this evening.
Toa going up against Alex Wheater. Goes over the both ruckmen. Going to be cleared out by St Mary's. Trying to get the chest mark was Lant. He was dispossessed. Ducking under it after he picked it up was Daniel Wheater. Told to play on and he just pierces it inside. Low kick to Thomas Motlop. And Thomas Motlop, it is record-breaking game for the Wanderers. Running out in the field tonight, he becomes the all-time game record holder for Wanderers. 208 games taking over from Ponce Cavello. Can the milestone man make a highlight for the Wanderers side in this second quarter? Slight angle, kicks it from 40, hunched over, looked like a nervous kick, didn't kick through that at all, and it's gone to the left. They pick up another behind, their 5th for the afternoon. It's Wanderers 2-5-17, trailing St Mary's 9-4-58.
That's thanks to Muzzbars, great coffee on the go. Bringing the ball in was Green, goes out to Gallus in the right forward pocket. So Gallus now plays on, kicks long, and he was put under pressure, and I think it might have been Caccione, let him know, and he's kicked it out of bounds on the foot. So we see Mitchell Taylor quickly jump fence, go and get the footy, as you've got to do. Brenton, Wanderers certainly, they've come to play in this second quarter. They've arrived.
Yeah, they did come out with a different attitude. They're a bit more hard at the contest. They've had more of the possession. This ball's been down in their offensive half for the majority of this quarter. So certainly a bit of a change. I think St Mary's might have dropped their guard a little bit, but they'll be happy that Wanderers haven't been able to capitalise really on the scoreboard.
Mitchell Taylor brings that footy in. He went to Shane Thorne. Thorne's kick to tried to go back to Taylor, cut off. The rebound is happening. Kluski up to Calder again. Calder was at half forward. Calder socked the footy away after he dropped it from Daniel Wheater. Gets it out to Lant. Lant pops it up, looking for the big man in Grenfell. Stands in front of Brenton Motlop. And speaking of Brenton Toy, you talk about capitalising. Brendan Grenfell just played on, tried to run around Calder, who was next to him, snapped from 20 metres out and kicks a point. He just didn't need to rush that, Brenton.
No, but I suppose you can get away with it when you're this far up. A bit different if you're a Wanderers player, but certainly coming into finals, you want to get those things right. Just go back, take the responsibility, have to practice and get it right.
Calder let him know that it was the wrong option. Daniel Wheater kicks it into John Tipalura. He gets outside the defensive 50 now. St Mary's have a bit of a zone going at the moment. Ugly kick chopped off for St Mary's through McMurtry. He gives it off to Lant. Lant runs around one, gets it onto the left. Lant from 50 metres. Taylor was running back and tried to dive right on the line. And Lant, with a beautiful kick from 50, is slotted a goal. And that brings up 10 goals for St Mary's. It's Lant's second for the night. St Mary's 10-5-65, leading Wanderers 2-5-17. 14 minutes gone, second quarter.
Yeah, there's great work there by Lant, and to use the terminology that my kids would use, he took Daniel Wheater's ankles there. Yep, and great effort there by Taylor, but just a lovely finish on the line there by St Mary's.
Great effort indeed. And that scoreboard just ticking over here for Muzz Buzz on Osgood Drive. Great coffee on the go. 10-5-65 to Wanderers 2-5-17. 14.5 gone in the second quarter. Ryan Smith back in the ruck up against Sebastian Priest. Priest won it and put Ryan Smith on his backside. Wanderers move the ball up to half forward. Shannon Rioli gets a possession, however. Manages to get a handball out. Shane Thorne did his best to try and cut it off. Ball flicked out here to the Eagles, who are trying to get it on the go. And the ball taken out of bounds, about 70 around from the Wanderers' goal. And a free kick, in fact, paid for deliberate. So out wide, Kieran Parnell taking this free kick. Coluccio got very close to Kieran Parnell, who kicked long down the line. Working hard there, Stanley Tipalora. Going hard at the footy, however, was Klasky. Gathered the footy, delivered it beautifully to Joseph Salmon. Was just too hot for him. Mitchell Taylor tried to take the footy away and couldn't. Comes to Heppel. He evades one tackle. Gets the ball to boot. Kicks it quickly inside 50. And young Ethan Bowden takes the mark. 45 metres from goal, dead in front. Let's see. He's turned his back on his fellow forward, so he's going to go back and have a shot here. Ethan Bowden, an opportunity from dead in front, and could he kick Saints' third goal of this second quarter? It's only been a 2-1 quarter so far at the 15.5-minute mark. So Ethan Bowden on the approach, kicks from 48 metres out. That is a great looking kick from Ethan Bowden, and that is terrific. And the response from the St Mary's players, they all go to him. Brenton, normally a sign that you just kick your first goal in Premier League footy. They will be absolutely pumped for him. I think there's 18 players out on the field, and he was one of them. But there was another 15 players that ran to him to congratulate him. So a really good occasion there for the young fella to get a goal. Showed a bit of composure, and as you said, I don't like to see him turn around and turn their back on the goals, but took the responsibility. I'm sure his teammates would have been saying, go back and kick it. And that's exactly what he did. Great effort. Great effort from Ethan Bowden. And the Muzz Buzz scoreboard, great coffee on the go, records that 11-5-71 to Wanderers 2-5-17.
Ball cleared from Wanderers. Marcus Totham got a huge up and under inside the forward 50. There's no players able to get it. Marcus Totham kept running. He got the cheeky handball off from Marlon Motlock, and Marcus Totham has just done a beautiful chip kick without looking, and he's found the lead of Liam Patrick. He's pointing, I don't know who he's pointing to that he's going to go for goals, but there's no one around him to hand it off to. But Liam Patrick, another shot on goal for the night, looking for his second. Hits it 35 metres. Goes for goal, celebrates before it goes over the umpire's hat, and Liam Patrick picks up his second for the night and his third for Wanderers. That just ticks over at St Mary's though. 11-5-71 leading Wanderers 3-5-23, and there's 18 minutes gone in this second quarter. Marcus Totham did well there, Brenton. Yep, yeah, just good work around the contest. Quick hands there by Marlon Motlock. Marcus Totham, we spoke about his work rate, and Liam Patrick, he has been really their only shining light down there, and great to see him kick that goal, because he's a few shots earlier, he wasn't giving me a huge amount of confidence. Ball back in the middle. Bounce down, clearly favoured Ryan Smith, and the umpire just said play on. That's extremely unfair. Thumped it away, got it to Joseph Salmon, evades two tacklers, put it on the boot and got it inside 50. Newman attempted the diving mark, couldn't take it. Brenton Motlock got it out of there with some bullocking play out towards Jacob Long. Was taking a free kick anyway for Joel Cabillo, holding his Guernsey. Runs inside 50, has the shot on goal, just does it all himself as Jacob Long. That was a super effort, and he signals to the crowd, how about that? St Mary's, they move on to 12-5-77, leading the Eagles 3-5-23, thanks to Muzz Buzz. Great coffee on the go. We talk about plays of the day, but who could be player of the day for Casales making a difference? May well be Jacob Long if he keeps on pulling out ones like that. Yeah, great work, Jacob Long, and he might have got a few words of encouragement from the Wanderers supporters down that end, and he was just letting them know
Talk to me after the game, maybe. Look, great effort, and we spoke about him earlier. He can play down back, he can play in the wing, he can go through the midfield. Just a crafty player, and obviously one of those players from that famous footballing family, the Longs.
So ball tossed up. Ryan Smith is persisting. Lights really only just coming into full effect here at the moment. Priest went up. Ball went to Paredes, the captain for St Mary's. No one's able to pick it up cleanly. Now Shane Thorne does for Wanderers. Dances around one. Just puts it up on the boot, up to centre half forward. And Thomas Motlop was there, took the juggle. And the umpire's going to say that he was held as he tried to go up for the mark. So Thomas Motlop already kicked a goal tonight. He's got a big boot on him, but he was asking for Shane Thorne, who was running around the back of him. Yaron saw it, so Thomas had to go for a late kick, looking for Liam Patrick in the right forward pocket, and Liam Patrick has done a great chase down, and he has brought Holner to the ground. And Liam Patrick, I think he might have just hurt himself with a boot, but that is great work and effort there from Liam Patrick.
Well, he had to, because it was 1-on-4.
Yeah,
there's four St Mary's players around him, and Liam Patrick was the only Wanderers players there, so that work rate of Wanderers to get to the line, just not quite there, and they're very lucky on that occasion that Liam Patrick was able to lay that tackle, because if they got the handball, they were away.
Liam Patrick looking for his second attempt. Oh, it's just hit the post. You can't ride it at the moment for Wanderers. They pick up another behind. That's 6 behinds for the night. They're 3-6-24, trailing St Mary's 12-5-77 late in this second term. Hope you're enjoying the footy. SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au.
Matthew Green brings the footy into play, goes to Paredes. Paredes pops it up and goes to Holner. Takes the mark, just plays on quickly to Paredes. He gives a handball to Ethan Bowden. Bowden goes inboard, then on the left boot. Great to see him using both sides of the body. His kick cut off by Brodie Newman. Newman tackled. They didn't hang on to him. Brandon Grenfell it was. He got the handball out to Motlop. That's Brenton Motlop. His kick off to Daniel Clee. Then out wide and cut off well by Zach Robinson. Out in front of Liam Patrick, he cut that off, popped it out of bounds, and moved boundary throw in. Right half forward, about 65 to 70 around from the Eagles' goal. 21.5 minutes gone in this second quarter. 77 plays 23 thanks to Muzz Buzz. Great coffee on the go. And you are on SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse at cfsgear.com.au. Dominic McCormack, Brenton Toy and Shannon Byrne with you.
Toyer out front for St Mary's, taps it down, and there's going to go a free kick to Lant, saying that the St Mary's midfielder was held without the ball. Hands on hips is Clee. He's not happy from Wanderers. Umpire was right on the spot there. Lant told to play on. Goes down the commentary wing, high up and under. Wanderers have the numbers. Brenton Motlop might have gone a bit early on Grenfell, but Newman is going to be paid the free mark. He runs around Toa. Toa put pressure on him. He goes down the commentary wing. Liam Patrick didn't compete for that at all, just let it bounce. And again, St Mary's have the numbers around the ball, but the ball goes out of bounds, 65 metres around from Wanderers' right post.
It's a strong play again from the Eagles, pressing far more than what they were previously. 2 goals they've kicked in this quarter. Now the boundary throw-in. Ball tossed in, went to Priest, easily read it beautifully, goes back in to try and get it again, now tackled and dropped the footy. Lant was right onto him, he did beautifully. So Dylan Lant now with the left boot. He's a left footer, he's on the right side for him, and a 50-metre penalty it is to Sebastian Priest. Just did not listen to the umpire from being on the mark, did not move. And another 50-metre penalty. I reckon that's about the 5th 50-metre penalty. And now he's given another one. I don't understand why the players don't know this by this time.
He cannot be involved. Yep. He's got to be back with the umpire behind the mark. He can't impede the player running with the football. No play on was called. Marlon Motlop was in the area. Just came in. Just unfortunate. But like you said, an experienced player, you kind of would expect that they know that rule.
Absolutely. Yep. And in the end, that's a bit of a short 50, as in a short 100. Yes. That's a double 50. That's not 100 metres. So Dylan Lant just slightly to the left of centre. He'll go with the left boot. Man on the mark, motionless. Now pulled to play. That's a poor kick in the end from Dylan Land. He shacked that to the right-hand side. He'll be very disappointed with that. The Saints move on to 12-6-78. Wanderers 3-6-24 on the Buzz scoreboard. Great coffee on the go. And the siren sounds with that score. So St Mary's leading 78-23 on that scoreboard. St Mary's 12-6-78 to Wanderers 3-5-23. We'll check that after we come back from our break here on SEN Top End Footy. And we'll be back with Brett Matoy and Shannon Byrne to dissect the first half after this.
You know what great makes Territorians can mean. Always willing to lend a hand. Or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know. So get a quote today. TIO. We're for Territorians.
Absolutely zero.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be zero.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
Domestic violence is everybody's business.
And it's not just the physical abuse, it's the things we don't see.
It is hurting our families. It is killing our families.
A lot of people have been silent to this fact, and I think it's about time we all speak up together and say no more to this form of abuse.
No more.
No more. No more family violence.
No more to the family violence.
No more. No more.
No more.
Everyone feels stressed or worried from time to time.
There's no shame in asking for help.
Yarning to friends or family can make you feel better.
Sometimes it's as simple as a text or a phone call.
If you or someone you know needs support,
visit www.mentalhealthnt.com.au.
Listen up, kids. Make school your story. Help you succeed and rise to glory.
Safe to go to school.
So go the distance. Attend every day. Learn and listen. School holiday rockin', we love a break.
Time with friends and family is always right.
When it's time for school, don't get slack.
It's safe to go to school, can't wait to get back. So don't cut corners.
Do the full term. It's safe to go to school and it's time to learn. So don't cut corners, do the full term. Make school your story and it's time to learn.
School returns February 2021. Written and authorised by the Northern Territory Government.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
At Buzzbuzz, keep cool this summer with our new range of frappes, including cookies and cream, chai and matcha. You can also enjoy our totally scrumptious range of food and snacks. Australian owned and operated. Buzzbuzz, great coffee is just the beginning.
On Territory roads, anything can happen. So you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble. All sorts of animals can be on the road, so watch out. And if the weather is bad, Slow down, you mob. Drive to the conditions and arrive in good condition.
The time to kickstart your business is now. Get your message across with the experienced local TV production team at Kick Digital. Cost effective, rapid turnaround, exceptional service. Kick Digital. Television production energized.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal for all school-related activities. 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact CFS Gear for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Vaccinate to protect our players.
To protect our coaches.
To protect our umpires.
To protect our supporters.
To protect our game.
Head to the Danila Dilba website for more information.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch.
Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory, we're here when you need us most. TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Has been out there having a kick with kids, and a young boy has just come over and asked Shannon Motlop, the former coach of Wanderers, a former North Melbourne AFL Premiership player, for an autograph on his footy he's just been kicking on the oval.
That's fantastic.
How good is that? That just makes you smile. And not only is, you know, Shannon Motlop coming back and, you know, being involved with footy, but a young kid realising just who is actually on the field and going and asking for his
that kid wouldn't
autograph.
have been born in 2008 when Shannon Motlop was playing.
Mind you, the dad's having more of a chat with Shannon and probably use the kids.
The dad's like, yeah, go and get
kid
a
as an
footy.
excuse. The worst thing is, though, the kid's now kicking the footy that's got his autograph on it, but we'll have to teach him that.
Good work.
Good work, good work. Shannon Motlop, of course, a great servant to football generally, but certainly up here at the top end has done anything and everything that you could think of to work with the Wanderers Footy Club and footy in general here. So great name in football is continuing on that wonderful tradition. Right here in front of us, however, St Mary's in the lead. They had a devastating first quarter, 8-1. They led by 42 points, and at half-time they lead by 54, 12-6, 78 to 3-6-24. Wanderers have struggled a bit, and Brenton, when they've actually got it forward, they've still struggled to find targets, and even when they've found a target, they've struggled to hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, look, we keep mentioning Liam Patrick, their shining light down there, but they've got some other players down there. John Tipalura can get into the game, and
Stanley Tipalura as well.
Yeah, and they're mixing it up now. I think Jaden Adams has gone forward, so just a different tool down there to try and draw some of the defence. So, look, I think if they can just keep competitive, I don't know if they're going to win tonight's game, but if they can, you know, like Shannon said, you know, win a quarter and just gradually build your way and try and come into next week with a couple of quarters under your belt, maybe not a win.
Siren sounds to get this third quarter underway. The umpire tossing the ball up on this occasion. Ryan Smith wins that with the double-hander. Jacob Long bursting onto the footy. Grabs hold of it. Handballs beautifully to Klasky. Where's Calder? Aims for him. Couldn't find him. The worm burner was just a little bit too low on this occasion. Calder couldn't pick it up, and the ball trickles out over the boundary line. Deep in that left forward pocket for a boundary throw-in. He's been good, and he's looking for him, Brenton, every time.
Not even 20 seconds, and St Mary's in a position to score. Just a great clearance there, and they've been like that all night tonight. St Mary's just great at the stoppages.
Priest in the ruck for Wanderers. Grenfell is in there for St Mary's. 30 metres around from the left post for St Mary's. Ball tossed in. Grenfell just taps it down on the ground. Picked up and kicked out by Tassone. Tassone goes only as far as Marclou. And Marclou, 70 metres from goal for St Mary's, just kicks it up. Calder is the man, Calder is the man, and Calder doesn't disappoint. He had two Wanderers players on him, and Calder just able again to stand there with the long limbs and just take an easy mark in the end, and he is going to have an easy shot on goal, 35 metres out, the slightest of angle.
And one of those defenders, Brody Newman, tough kick, great mark there.
Great kick though from Mark Klug.
Yep.
right into the spot of Calder. Calder's got a great kick. He's looking for his 4th of the night, and he celebrates again straight off the boot. High five from all the forward line, and that's 5 for the evening already, and it's 2 minutes gone into the third quarter. He is on his way to kicking a big one tonight. So 5 for Calder. It's the 13th goal for St Mary's. They're 13-6, leading Wanderers 3-6. 2 minutes gone, third term.
Yep, he could be in for a big night, Jackson Calder. He got 4 of those 5 goals in the first quarter, nothing in the second. Maybe the airport ends scoring end for him, but he could certainly, if this game starts to break open, really open up and kick a bag.
13-6 plays 3-6 on the Tyre Power scoreboard. Your trusted Tyre experts, Ryan Smith up against Sebastian Priest. Priest wins that beautifully. He's had a good night in the ruck, Sebastian Priest. Sockers it forward as well. Got it off to John Tipalora. He got it to Marcus Tottam. He lost the footy after being confronted. Handball now comes out to Mark Clue. Stolen by Shane Thorne. Good little handball from him to Tassone. Tassone through to John Tipalora. Handball out again, looking for Tassone. Taken in a tackle. Still got a kick away. Did really well. Up inside forward 50. No mark taken. Spillage to Thomas Motlop. Tried to get hands to a teammate. Cut off by Green. Green goes to Holner. Holner out wide looking for Zach Robinson. Saints now looking to clear through the back pocket. Too much time and space. Kick down centre wing. Justin Robinson flies forward. Shannon Rioli in a really good position. Kicks up to the lumbering Ryan Smith. Taps it backwards. Smart play by the big man. Takes the free kick. Plays on quickly. Goes to Yaron. Yaron up towards Calder. And Calder with 2 metres of space.
He's paid high on the shoulder.
The umpire says that was a free. Free kick goes to Daniel Wheatrue. Plays on and finds Zilio Casemiro in the corridor.
Casemiro goes short to Shane Thorne. They just get outside their defensive 50 now. Taylor has it. He goes down the outer wing looking for Joel Cabillo. Joel Cabillo drops the mark over the boundary underneath the old scoreboard, which is halfway on the outer wing, and the ball will be tossed back in. Unlucky Calder. I think because of the height difference as well.
Now after Jackson Calder.
Probably with the height difference as well. There was just a little nudge.
Perfect work by the forward.
Ruck contest now. Smith up against Priest. This time Smith wins it. Goes to land on the boundary. Quick kick up towards Robinson. Attacked the ball hard. Couldn't take the footy. There is Mitchell Taylor. Scoops around the pack as it fell in front of him. Lovely kick up towards John Tipalora. Takes a really nice mark. Wheels around. Goes long up towards centre half forward. Jacob Long got a touch on it. Now he can't pick it up cleanly. Coming in there was the Eagles player in Tottam, and he will take the free kick. Matthew Green to pass it back to him, and he does. So Tottam looks to play on. Handball's out wide, goes to Thomas Motlop. Kick high up and under, and it's through to the near side for a minor score. Saints to play on quickly. That is a shocking kick from Holner, and it hits John Tipalora on the chest, 25 metres from goal on a 45-degree angle. Holner can't believe it. Nor could John Tipalora, I'm afraid. Well, the pressure here is to kick the goal. Can he quickly answer the first scoring shot from Saints by kicking a return goal? 45-degree angle, he'll kick from about 30. John Tipalora been well involved at the beginning of this third quarter. Kick on its way, and he has missed to the right-hand side. Should not have missed, but did. And on the Tyre Power scoreboard, kick straight with a free 5-minute safety check. 13-6 plays 13-7. Saints in the lead.
St Mary's again, another dangerous kick inside the defensive 50. No clearing kick for them, but they're going to get out of trouble. Paredes, the captain for St Mary's, gets a handball off. Calder, unmarked inside the forward 50, and Calder, he was a long way from goal, turns around from the 50-metre, no one is home, and Calder just turns around on the paint of 50 and slots it home. That was a very, very quick transition from the kick-in for St Mary's, and Wanderers were napping. It's a 14th goal for St Mary's, 14-6-90, leading Wanderers 3-8-26, and that is the 6th goal for Calder this evening, and we are only 7 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Nail on the head, Shan. Just that quick transition is just really destroying Wanderers at the moment. St Mary's just so clean with their possessions. They make good decisions. They've got hard runners. They get it into their forwards quick, and when you've got the leading goal kicker down there who's, you know, potentially the most dangerous player on the field at the moment, why wouldn't you get it in doing quick? And he's doing a fantastic job, the champ, Jackson Calder.
Ball just up high. Toa wins it down, gets it to land. Quick little kick on the left boot. It's going to be cleaned up by Zilio Casemiro for the Eagles. Almost wrapped up in a tackle. Handballs to Marlon Motlop. He's under pressure. Turns over the footy. Justin Robinson. Handball to Lamastida. Lamastida to Toa. Goes backwards. Really disciplined. Good team play to Land. Lands up to Calder. Punched away from him by Daniel Wheatra. Crumbs picked up by Yaron. Yaron darts inboard. Kicks up towards Joseph Salmon. Ball thumped away from him by Mitchell Taylor. Great defensive play by the player who was best on ground in the recent NTFL representative match.
Yeah, not going to mark that with Mitchell Taylor in the vicinity, but St Mary's, just their pressure around the contest, getting numbers there and outnumbering Wanderers.
SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au. Dominic McCormack, Brent Toy and Shannon Byrne with you.
Ball tossed in with Grenfell in front. It was a short one. He just taken it out of the ruck, put it up on the boot, and it's gone to the left of the post, dribbled out. And there will be tossed back in 10 metres around from the left post of St Mary's.
Well, interesting to see, Brenton, who will be our Kazali's player of the day for Kazali's Palmerston Club, the place to be. I'm tipping that Jackson Calder might be in your mix somewhere there. Yep.
Just as give it away to
just as a suggestion.
We'll see how many finishes with. Ball tossed in. Grenfell was in front. He's just tapped it down. Lant was running from behind. Roved very well. Snap on goal, and it's gone to the right. No breeze to speak of. And St Mary's 91 leading Wanderers 26. 8 minutes gone, third quarter.
Well, Dylan Lamb would have been a bit disappointed with that, I expect. Brody Newman with ball in hand now. Passes off to Clee. Steady build up here. Still inside defensive 50. Clee just got the footy away. Joseph Salmon, good play. John Tipalora, good mark right in front of our commentary position here at left half back for the Eagles. Now called to play on. John Tipalora's come to life in this quarter. Kick down the line, offhand. Zach Robinson couldn't pick up, comes to the back, goes to Heppel. Heppel, nice kick down the line. And almost taken there by Mark Clue. Is the call out of bounds on the foot? No, it's not. Brody Newman was looking for it, but the boundary umpire says that Mark Clue's efforts made sure that it wasn't. So a boundary throw in just to the right of our commentary position. We've got 9 minutes in this quarter. The scoreboard for Tyre Power. Best Buy's on big brand sale now on 90 place, 26 Saints in the lead. Toa got a touch to it, couldn't quite get it clean into Klusky. Tipalora doesn't handle well here. Mark Clue just throws it up in the air. And well called by the umpire. Shane Thorne takes the free kick, tries to step around Klusky, goes by hand to Coluccio. The handball was not good. He's confronted by Lamastida. Lamastida drags it in. Now it's pushed out. Over the footy is Stanley Tipalora. Green gets it out. Mark Clue sockers it forward. Over the footy for the Eagles is Daniel Fuller. Pushes it towards the boundary line. And you can just tell the way the umpire was running to that it was going to be given as deliberate. Nick Yaron to take the free kick. He's now called to play on. Gee, the umpire very undecided there. And he's asking for the Eagles player to come back on the mark. Nick Yaron with the free kick.
So Yaron kicks inside 50. Oh, big clash of bodies. Robinson falls to the ground. Trying to pick it up is Wanderers Brenton Motlop. He got a handball off to Alex Wheatra. Gives it off to Taylor. Taylor for the Eagles. Thumps it down the middle of the park. Thomas Motlop tries to go for it. Now it's going to be turned over by St Mary's in the middle of the park. Ball back inside there. Forward 50. Calder's coming out the full forward. Taken on. He's cleaned up his own player in Bowden, who stayed down. He's been hurt by full forward Calder as Wanderers go on the outer wing. Marlon Motlop gets it further down. He finds Thomas Motlop. Thomas Motlop looks inside. There's John Tipalora, who's empty and coming off, and beautiful for St Mary's. Holner, he had about 3 Wanderers players, but he read the ball and he's got to get them out of trouble. Goes out the outer wing, the St Mary's defender.
And contest on that outer wing there. Heppel got the ball away to Klusky. Steps inboard and then handballs out wide to Salmon. Salmon with the pass to Grenfell. Good looking footy. Grenfell now with the long kick. Calder in good position. Up high, 2 hands. Takes the grab. He was just behind Wheatra. Wheatra lost him at no body contact. And Calder then leapt up next to him and took the mark. Calder lining up for his 7th. to the left of centre, the man on the mark, 15 metres from goal. And I'm not trying to interview the Kazali's player of the, I should say, influence, the Kazali's player of the day here, but Calder goes through, and it does go through. Gave the umpire a bit of work to do, but he kicks his 7th for the evening, and we've gone 11 and a half minutes here in the third quarter, and we see Ethan Bowden coming from the ground with what is probably a corking to the top of the right leg at the rear. He's okay otherwise than being very, very sore.
Didn't have time to celebrate that goal because that's the man that has taken his leg out.
So Calder kicks his 7th, and the scoreboard for Tyre Power kicks straight with a free 5-minute safety check. St Mary's have moved on to 15 goals, 7-97. Wanderers 3-8-26 at the 12.5-minute mark of this third quarter.
Ball tossed, and that's gone. An ugly bounce. It's gone outside the circle. So Ryan Smith's going to slowly give it back to the umpire as he casually walks back into position. No, tossed up now. Smith's beaten again by Priest. Smith out there with a lot of strapping. He's not even left the middle of the park at the moment. Picked up by St Mary's. McMurtry. He kicks it into the middle of the park. There's going to be a free kick going against Jacob Long. But Lant decided to play on. Daniel Wheatra went up the back of Calder. It's gone over the back of both of the players. Running onto it was Salmon, and Salmon has run into... Nick Garron has run into an open goal. We're still getting over Daniel Wheatra, getting up that high, but nowhere near the ball.
Yeah,
used Calder as a step ladder, but anyway.
A little bit early, yeah. Perhaps a tad unrealistic.
I was going to say,
that's what I was still looking at. Anyway, St Mary's.
Nonetheless, yeah, Lant just on the non-preferred right. Wheatra goes a little bit early. That is an issue, but Calder is putting doubt into the Wanderers defenders' mind. They don't know what to do. Playing from in front, playing from behind, try and get a jump at it. Very tough, but great work by St Mary's.
Yaron's second goal of the night brings up 103 for St Mary's. Wanderers 26, 14 minutes gone, third quarter.
Ryan Smith wins the run contest, got a handball out to a teammate, turned over now. Mitchell Taylor did beautifully. Got to Thomas Motlock. Motlock off to Sebastian Priest, running through the middle of the ground. Handball up to Coluccio, then got tackled, turnover, Lant, the handball to Mark Clue. John Chipolura did well to steal the ball away. Perhaps a free kick for a hold. Zach Robinson took the footy, kicked it out wide and goes to Jacob Long. Nice little kick from Jacob Long. Spotted up Shannon Rioli beautifully on centre wing now. Goes by hand to Heppel. Heppel had to get ball to boot quickly, and his kick up towards Calder. There's a free kick in forward 50. It's either Calder or Grenfell with the free. And the two tall targets causing absolute havoc. Grenfell with the free against Brenton Motlock. In the corridor, the man on the mark, 40 metres from goal. So Grenfell, he kicked 1 goal in the second quarter. So looking here for his second at the 14.5-minute mark. Kick on the way. Salmon clapping it through. And St Mary's, goodness me, 16-7. Just waiting for the scoreboard to tick over here. It must be 17-7. 109 points, leading Wanderers 3-8-26 for Tyre Power, kicking goals with 25% off Falcon Tyres. And what a performance here by St Mary's on SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au. You're with Dominic McCormack, Shannon Byrne and Brenton Toy.
Speaking of kicking goals, Dominic, St Mary's just really killing Wanderers in terms of their score launches. Many of their goals coming from turnovers and particularly coming from their back halves. Wanderers, just St Mary's, that rebound footy, outstanding.
Mike Grenfell lined up. I looked at the Wanderers forward line. Adams and also Garlick just hands up in like desperation as to what's happening out there. They can't even get it inside their forward delivered the way they want. Ball cleared out by St Mary's only as far as Taylor. Taylor kept running the defender. Bates couldn't pick it up around the ground. Taylor was there again. He's doing well. He's having to do it all at the moment. St Mary's get a free kick for a push in the back. Jacob Long got it off to Shannon Rioli, and the ball is going to be free kick down into the right forward pocket. And Calder has it. Salmon kept running.
Some language up the ground, I think.
There had to be a referred free kick in, that's right.
So, number of changes on the interchange, but it is Calder.
Tell you what, Husky with another hard ball hit. Yeah, just fantastic.
Lining up for his 8th for the night. Calder kicks it. Is it coming back? Is it coming back? No, it's going to be marked. And it's just gone over for a behind. It was to the left of the post anyway. So St Mary's 110 leading Wanderers 26, 17 minutes gone, third quarter.
Mitchell Taylor bringing the footy into play. Little dinky kick. That has not gone 15 metres. There's no way Brody Newman's been paid the mark, however. And
Taylor can't believe it.
And now Taylor's being asked to go back and do it again. Bizarre. Mitchell Taylor, it goes out the other side, and Mitchell Taylor.
No, the players are 10 metres back. He's saying there's players inside the protected zone.
That player is well and truly far.
On both sides. On both sides.
Maybe you've got to be back behind the man on the mark. I'm not sure if that's, maybe I've got that all wrong.
Okay.
Maybe I need to learn.
Need to go back and have a look at the rule book then. Mitchell Taylor, this time, now called to play on, so he should be fine. Confronted by Joseph Salmon, kicks short. Goes to Brenton Motlop, deep in that right back pocket. He comes back into the corridor, finds Shane Thorne. Thorne now low kick to Brody Newman. Someone frustrated is Newman. Little chip goes to Marcus Todd. They're still inside defensive 50. Now looking to come outside. Good lead came from Alex Wheatra. Takes the mark, left half back, 5 metres in from the boundary. Right in front of our commentary position in the Morris Rioli grandstand. Ryan Smith on the mark. Alex Wheatra kicks long down the line. Punched away from Liam Patrick. Down there by Kieran Parnell. Ball caught on the ground. Tackle laid. Ball comes out. The umpire was simply saying, play on. Kieran Parnell gets it. Somehow Brandon Grenfell, standing by himself, takes the mark at right half forward for St Mary's. Now called to play on. Kicks long. Target is Dylan Lant. Goes up for the foot. He doesn't take the mark. Spills to the back. Comes to Heppel. He handballs in ball to Lant. He is hit high, surely. And the free kick paid for a very, very clumsy tackle there by Zelio Casemiro. And Dylan Lant will go back directly in front. 35 from goal. Brenton, much to the annoyance of the Eagles defenders, he'll have a crack at his third goal.
Yeah,
Joel Cavillo.
Just Joel Cavillo. Nothing untoward, just a little bit sloppy, but still made front on contact.
Dylan Lant.
His run-up's longer than what he's got to kick it.
Directly in front. Well, if you've got your routine, you've got your routine. Kicks on goal. Makes absolutely no mistake at all, does Dylan Lant. Kicks his third. And on the Tyre Power scoreboard, kicks straight with a free 5-minute safety check. St Mary's moving on here. And they move on to 18-8, 116 to Wanderers 3-8-26. You're on SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au. Special comments, Brent Toy.
Dylan Lant, great player. I think he's going to add a bit of mystery to the best on-grounder world. Dominic, if using midfielder, kicking multiple goals and plenty of possession. So don't put it all in the bag yet. Jackson Calder, but Klusky's been terrific. Dylan Lant's been great, and obviously Calder has provided that key target up forward. Great work, Saints.
Toa in the ruck for Saints, going to go up against Priest. Ball tossed up. Toa won it. Trying to pick it up was Labastida, playing his 150th, or his 200th tonight. Labastida, ball still in the middle, comes out now for Wanderers. Shane Thorne tries to get a quick one going down towards Coluccio. Turned over from St Mary's across their half-back line. And Labastida, the milestone man, takes the mark. He gets it off by handball. Going up to centre half forward, and an unmarked Robinson is going to take an easy mark directly in front of goal on the paint of 50. Klusky's running past him, wanted it. He can chip it inside to Yaron. There's more St Mary's players inside the forward 50 than there are Wanderers. Taylor's just pointing. Robinson from 55 metres. He's got it, he's got it, he's got the distance, and he's got the accuracy. And Robinson picks up his first for the night, but that was a superb strike. As I look at the flags, there is no wind to speak of out there at the moment, so he wasn't wind assisted, and he's kicked that 55 metres straight through the stick. 122 comes up on the board for St Mary's, leading Wanderers 26. 21 minutes gone, third quarter.
Good goal there by St Mary's. Had plenty of short options on, but just pumped it in long and got it over the line. And add a little bit of insult to injury. The two Wanderers players just collided with each other, Newman and Wheater there. So unfortunate for them. Hard to see where Wanderers are going to come out, but they need to really dig deep and show a little bit of pride.
Good to see Ethan Bowden back on the ground as well as Tyre wins that ruck contest down to Labastida. Quick handball out to Mark Clue. Good hands to Klasky. Shows a little bit of pace. Gets away from an opponent. Mitchell Taylor almost cuts it off. Ethan Bowden in hard and low at the footy. Got hold of it. Just somehow passed it off to Labastida. He got it to Justin Robinson, the last goal kicker. Off to Mark Clue. Mark Clue, long bomb down to the goal square. Little touch on it there by Calder. Good contest between he and Daniel Wheater. Through for the minor score. Wheater plays on quickly and out to Marlon Motlop. Still inside defensive 50.
Marlon Motlop decides to go out towards the safety of the boundary. Finds Brenton Motlop. Wanderers just playing with it at the moment. A handball back to Marlon Motlop. He goes long down the outer wing, but an easy mark there for St. Mary's. So St. Mary's in the middle of the park. Paredes has it. Bounce through the middle. He's got no one in front of him. He just chips it forward and finds Yaron, who's already kicked 2 for the night. They're just lining up at the moment, and a lot of these possessions are...
You'd love to be a
no
forward
one around him.
in the St. Mary's forward line, wouldn't you? Plenty of space, uncontested ball. The defence and the midfielder of 6s and 7s for the opposition, so plenty of scoring opportunities, and that was just too easy for Paredes. He lifted his eyes, he scanned the perimeter.
Even at time for the bounce, though.
Found Yaron.
Unbelievable.
Yaron looking for his 3rd of the night, 2nd for the quarter if he can. Yaron just put his head down as soon as it came off the boot. It's gone to the left, and they pick up their 10th behind. St. Mary's 19-10, 124, leading Wanderers 3-8-26 late in the 3rd quarter.
You're on SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au. Daniel Wheater, the designated kicker, brings the footy out, runs his full measure. Long kick out to centre wing and a terrific grab. Toa just takes that. Now chips inboard, looking for Klasky, finds him, takes the mark, 55 from goal, looks to drill it in long. Who's he going for? You just don't need to guess. It's Jackson Calder, and he finds him on a lead 5 metres out from Daniel Wheater. And he takes that mark, 25 from goal on a 45-degree angle. He had metres to spare, Brenton, and he knew what was going to happen, didn't he? He looked up and went, it's Klasky.
Just too easy. Yeah. And look, I don't know if Wanderers want to think of something different. Maybe they need to try and double team or put somebody in front of the space and playing one from front, one from back.
So Jackson Calder going for his 8th goal. 45-degree angle, drills hard at it, puts it straight through the middle, kicks his 8th for the night. That is a super effort. And he's really making a play for the Cazaly's player of the day, making a big difference here for the St. Mary's Footy Club. And we've got 24 minutes. St. Mary's sit on 20 goals, 10, 130. Wanderers 3-8-26. Brenton Toy.
Obviously, Dylan Lance and Jack Klasky have got no idea because they should not be kicking it to Jackson Calder anymore. Otherwise, they are not going to be in the mix because he is just dominant down there. And those two fellas through the midfield have been superb. And look, why wouldn't you? He's got his defender clearly beaten now. He's got him on the lead. He's got him for height. The delivery coming in is outstanding, so why wouldn't you?
Scoring end is at 4 in the 1st quarter, 4 in this 3rd quarter as Toa went up for St. Mary's. Laird gets another clearance out. The left footer, huge kick inside the left forward pocket, running onto it as it went over the back of the pack. Salmon trying to pick it up. He's down on all 4s. A number of Wanderers players there down on the ground, including Stanley Tipalura. Daniel Wheater was calling for a free. Stanley Tipalura just tucks it on the boot. The defender gets it out. A kind bounce to Bates. Bates gets a handball over to Marlon Motlop. He goes into the middle of the park. Ball goes over the head of John Tipalura, and St. Mary's are now on the outer wing with it. Trying to pad it forward to his own advantage is McMurtry. Coming through is Klasky. He's had a great night tonight, but Wanderers pick up the loose ball on the ground in the middle of the park. Liam Patrick gave a 1-2 to Marlon Motlop. Alex Wheater kept running, and the siren goes as it goes inside the forward 50 for Wanderers. Hasn't been down in that part of the area for most of this 3rd quarter. St. Mary's 20-10, 130, leading Wanderers 3-8-26. That is a 104-point margin, and we are only at 3-quarter time here at TIO Stadium. These two teams were sitting third for St Mary's on the ladder and fourth for Wanderers, both playing for a double chance, and St Mary's have come out and made a huge statement tonight, and that difference being between third and fourth. I think it's going to be a big, long final term coming up for the Eagles. We'll be back to dissect what could happen in this final term shortly on SEN Top End Footy.
You know what great mates Territorians can be.
Always willing to lend a hand, or something else. So if they ever ask to borrow your car, as you know they will, you can say yes, knowing that your TIO comprehensive car insurance has them covered. Same as you. It's good to know.
So get a quote today.
TIO. We're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch.
Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
We're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
St Mary's well and truly in charge. 104-point lead after they led by 42 at quarter time and 54 at half half-time. And Brenton Toy, to say that the first and third quarters have been dominant is an understatement. 8 goals to 1 in the first, 8 goals to 2 in the third. Can Saints continue that track in the last quarter and change the dynamic, or will Wanderers come out strongly again in this last?
No, I think knowing St Mary's that they'll want to come out and really put the foot on the throat, really bury Wanderers and really go into the finals with a bit of confidence, because if it is 2v3 or they end up playing each other, you want to go in going, hey, last time we give you a good towing,
And Brenton, does the message get out to Calder that he's on 8 goals?
Absolutely.
Can he get 10?
He'll know. He doesn't need a message. He'll know. Ball bounced down in the middle. Smith up against Priest. Priest wins yet another tap out really nicely. Gets it to Marlon Motlop. Motlop off to Tassone. Long kick from the middle of the ground. Down towards centre half forward. Comes off the hands of Thomas Motlop. Liam Patrick scoots his way through. And then Klusky has ball in hand. And a free kick given for him being tossed around and slung. It should be holding the ball.
Absolutely. He didn't throw him into the ground. He had him by the jumper.
Great tackle from Shane Thorne. Unrewarded. The ball goes off to Paredes. Paredes kick up to Grenfell, who then drops it at half forward. Tassone comes through strongly again. He's brought to ground. A little bit of a scrappy play at half back here, and the Eagles will take a free kick.
Yeah, Yarra just careless come flying into the contest.
So Tassone handballs off to Stanley Tipalora. Long kick down towards Liam Patrick, punched away from him from Kieran Parnell, and Klusky right on the boundary tries to take the footy back in, loses to the boundary, and there'll be a boundary throw in just to the left of our commentary position here.
Just showing Thorne's jumper pull. He just whirled him around. He never dumped him on the ground. He never threw him to the ground. So
that's a under 10s rule, I reckon. Don't sling the player.
Well, he didn't sling him in the end, did he? So the ball tossed in directly in front of us in the air-conditioned commentary box. Still very warm night out here for the players. Salmon tried to go through a pack. He's dropped the ball. And the free kick going to Marlon Motlop.
Good tackling intent, Brenton. Early start. Yep.
Now they've just got to keep it up. Keep discipline, Wanderers. Short kick from Marlon Motlop to Thomas Motlop. Thomas Motlop breaking the game's record. He's now the all-time sits alone on 208. Took over from Ponce Cabillo. He sends it up to centre half forward. All 3 Saints players went up. And that was very lucky. McClue came down on his awkward on his neck. And it's Lant that's going to get them out of the defensive 50. Ball misses Salmon. And Wanderers trying to pick it up. Brenton Motlop kicks it up and under. Ugly kick. Kicked off the ground for St Mary's. Heppel just boots it down the outer wing. No one's able to pick it up cleanly at the moment. Going in for Wanderers is Fuller. It spills out. St Mary's have it through Brenton Motlop. He chucks it on the left, goes looking for Bates, and it's going to be chopped off by Klusky, who's having a brilliant game and starting the 4th quarter just as well.
Klusky, good player, wheels the ball out wide, goes to Ryan Smith, takes the mark at left half back. Kick up to Salmon at centre wing. Had to stand under it for a moment with Stanley Tipalora coming. Goes out wide again and finds Zach Robinson. Goes short, looking for Heppel, couldn't take the mark under pressure there from Newman. Flicks the ball out, Alex Wheater takes it, scoops through. Little dinky kick finds Liam Patrick. That's a good effort. Liam Patrick's handball to Marcus Tottenham was poor. Tottenham made it look good. Got it up to Sebastian Priest. Back to Tottenham. Somehow managed to flick it up. His kick is good to John Tipora. Well done, Marcus Tottenham. Excellent play. Called to play on. Chips the footy up and goes to Thomas Motlop. 52 metres from goal. Just kept running. Played on. Drills a kick in. Doesn't make the target. Well done by Holner. And throwing the footy is the call. So yet again, Wanderers tackling pressure. Excellent. And a free kick to be taken by the Eagles. 20 out from goal.
They've come out of this last quarter as they did in the second. Just the pressure is up. You know, the ball's down in their forward line. The Wanderers players did really well there because it was 2 Wanderers forwards on about 5 St Mary's defenders. So to win that football and get a set shot on goal was a good result for the Eagles.
Liam Garlick, right forward pocket. Man on the mark is Green. Liam Garlick punches it low, drills it through. Well done, Garlick. He hits the scoreboard for Muzz Buzz. Great coffee on the go. And Wanderers, they move on to 4 goals, 8-32. Trailing St Mary's 20-10, 130. We've gone a couple of minutes here in this first quarter, 4 minutes.
I did think that they were going to struggle going forward there because Liam Patrick was still up the ground on the wing and there wasn't a lot of options going forward. I think Tipalura had to find a short pass and they were absolutely outnumbered down there, so had to be spot on. But just great work to win the football back, and nice kick by Garlick there to get a bit of a consolation goal for the Eagles.
So Alex Wheatra is in the ruck for Wanderers, rotating a lot at the moment. The Wanderers side, Toa's in. Ryan Smith hasn't been out for this final term. Wheatra just flicks it behind him, but taken by Paredes, the captain for St Mary's. He gives it off to Lant. Lant with a booming left foot, kicks it up to centre half forward, and a great mark from Newman. Goes over the top of Robinson from St Mary's, and Newman stands tall as he has all season, and despite the scoreline, he's still playing extremely well. He kept running. Wanderers through Marlon Motlop go to the outer wing. Player out is Klee. Klee gets a kind bounce. He gets a handball over to Tassone. Tassone is dispossessed by Shannon Rioli. So St Mary's now have the ball, but it's turned over now to Wanderers. Liam Patrick just chucks it onto the left boot. Left forward pocket looking for Thomas Motlop. Thomas Motlop just kept it in and he dances around a player, but the whistle's gone in the background and said that he didn't keep it in. So the ball will be tossed in 15 metres around from the left post, going towards the airport end as the light rain just starts here at Marara Oval. So it's going to get slippery.
There's a bit of lightning around as well, much to Shannon Byrne's delight. 5 minutes down in this last quarter, 130 plays 32. Toa up in the ruck contest, wins it slightly forward. Now Wanderers press it forward. Slick handballs, almost a shot on goal there from Garlick. The ball was stolen away from him from the St Mary's defence, kicked out towards Robinson and thumped away from him by Brodie Newman. That's been a really good battle between those two, Brenton, because Justin Robinson known for taking marks and working hard. Yeah, but Brodie Newman known for working hard and taking marks as well.
He hasn't had the influence tonight,
no.
But I think that says a lot about how St Mary's have brought the football in, the amount of options, so their ability to go around him as opposed to going through these opponents.
Ball tossed in. No ruckman able to get a hand to it. Priest has taken off the ball. Rain falling here at Marara Stadium. Toa tries to get it off the ground. The ruckman dives on it. Shane Thorne's on top of him. And the umpire said that Toa had no prior opportunity to get rid of it. Ball going to be tossed up centre half forward for Wanderers. Toa went over the back, running off it. Shane Thorne, this time that'll be a free kick. He's dumped him into the ground. He did that one. The one before, he certainly didn't. Shane Thorne said, if you're going to get me for a jumper pull, I'll show you what a jumper pull is. And St Mary's have the free kick. Goes out to Klusky on the outer wing.
Klusky, that's a fantastic kick up to Robinson, and then Robinson just couldn't hang on. Hit him on the chest, bounced out, he reached to try and grab hold of it.
I don't know. I know that looks rough. I get it, but I don't have a problem with it. There was no contact that Paredes made with the ground with his head, like it was, a sling to the ground maybe. Yeah, that's the rough part of it, but...
And he still had the footy.
Yeah.
Toa now goes up in the ruck, tries to bat it down to Dylan Lant. On the chase is Marcus Totham, close to the boundary. It comes off Totham's leg, perhaps. The boundary umpire says, no, all good, boundary throw in. Another boundary throw in, right half forward. Saints just pushing that ball forward ever so slightly.
Priest in front of Toa. Priest actually falls over. Toa wasn't able to get it. Klusky for St Mary's overran it as well. Ball down on the ground. There's going to be a free kick against Toa going to Wanderers. They're going to try and go down through the middle of the park. They find Marlon Motlop. He goes off to Thomas Motlop. We've called that a lot tonight. Thomas Motlop tried to sell some candy, slipped over in the middle of TIO Stadium, puts it inside their forward 50. Liam Patrick is worked off the ball. Liam Patrick's just having a bit of it at the night, but I think Taylor's just been... He's asking for a free kick. Said he laid down for a little bit, having a bit of a chat to someone in the crowd as Taylor laid down on the ground, and the ball has dribbled out for a boundary throw-in, 70 metres from Wanderers' goal on the right.
I thought he was actually going to get called then for taking Kieran Parnell's legs out, but not called. Tyre up in the ruck contest, wins it down, but belted forward by Cabillo for the Eagles. Cut off now by Heppel. Got a quick kick out. In fact, it was Mark Clue. Kick out towards Stanley Tipalora. Couldn't take the grab. And he and Joseph Salmon helped the ball over the line for another boundary throw. And just in between the interchange gates for both teams. 6 minutes gone here. 130 plays 32 on the Muzbuzz scoreboard. Muzbuzz on Osgood Drive. Great coffee on the go. You're on SEN Top End Footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au. The ruck contest is taken out of the ruck there by Toa. Did beautifully. Got it away to Klusky. Long kick up towards Robinson. And this time in beautiful position. But I tell you what, pay that to the kick. It was a lovely kick. Robinson takes the mark. He was just slightly behind Newman, which was a perfect position. And so now just to the left of centre. Has the opportunity to kick from about 48 metres out, having a crack at his second goal for the evening.
Yeah, good work again, Klusky. Just a brilliant kick to advantage there, but a nice contested mark as well. Hopefully he can finish it off.
Robinson skips in, 48 metres, kick on its way. Looks good off the boot. Wow, that's a good kick from Justin Robinson. Late in this game, ball a little bit slippery with some rain falling. He has hit the scoreboard and St Mary's move on to 21-10, 136, leading Wanderers 4-8-32. Thanks to Muzbuzz, great coffee on the go. Wow. Brenton, that's a good kick from there. He made that look easy from 48.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great mark, and you know, the slippery conditions, and just nice off the boots, and you know, and this is what I meant earlier about. I don't think anyone's thinking about milestones right now.
No.
You know, I think St Mary's. If I was their coach, I'd be saying, "Hey, we finished this game 100 points ahead. Let's not lose by any less than 100, and we go in with that mental advantage come finals time."
I'd love to know how many disposals Klusky's has got, but I'd love to know the assists, because he is just having a wonderful night delivering inside the forward 50 for St Mary's. Ball comes out, wobbles forward for Wanderers, but it's going to be picked off by Green for St Mary's. He just chips it to the outer side to Labastida, who is playing his 200th game tonight for St Mary's. Dribbles inside the forward 50, worked off the ball. Well done, Brenton Motlop for Wanderers. He goes back down the commentary wing, the outer wing, looking for Thorne, who's also playing his 150th tonight. And the rain is falling here at TIO Stadium. And the ball will be thrown in halfway mark of the wing on the outer.
Boundary throw in there, won by Jake Toa easily. Just ran onto the footy, took the footy. Target was Justin Robinson down the ground. Good contest again between he and Brodie Newman. Newman thumping the ball out over the boundary line. They do it all over again. Brodie Newman being a good player. Could he feature for Kazales, making a difference as the player of the day? Brenton Toy not looking to influence at all. Last quarter here, 9 minutes thereabouts gone. Boundary throw in now. Grenfell setting himself against Priest. Grenfell just held his position nicely. Got the ball back to Shannon Rioli. Flicked it off to Henry Labastida. Ran to 48. Long bomb on goal. And very, very quickly called as out of bounds on the full.
Labastida, yeah.
Labastida is going to get a free kick here for being
downfield will go to
pushed by Shane Thorne. Again, that was just undisciplined by Shane Thorne. Didn't need to do it. And so the free kick from the boundary, Nick Yarron, right forward pocket. He now plays on, goes with the banana. That is an absolute beauty from Nick Yarron, and he has kicked 4 goals for the evening. Talk about players featuring for Kazales, another midfielder kicking multiple goals. Nick Yarron, beautifully done. So 12 minutes in, Nick Yarron has his 4th, and more importantly from a team perspective, St Mary's 22-10, 142, leading Wanderers 4-8-32 on the Muzbuzz scoreboard. Great coffee on the go.
Yeah, not a lot in it there by Thorne with that free downfield, but just did make contact with his chest. There's no swinging arms or anything like that, but he did make contact late. Free kick down, but what a terrific finish by Nick Yarron. Just laid it on the outside of the right boot. Tough kick.
Tough kick.
Ball bounced in the middle. Priest goes over Grenfell. Priest kept running, wanted it. Ball comes out though. Marlon Motlop not able to pick it up the first time. Can the second. Gets a handball out to Fuller. Fuller goes back to Thorne. Thorne just boots it inside. Sure, Thomas Motlop went for the mark. He climbed the ladder, but the ball wasn't near him as he went up. Now it comes out the defence attacking 50. Totham has been busy. He got a 1-2 and just kicked it to Taylor, who again has had to do a lot of work. The defensive player, Taylor, he's going to have a shot on goal.
Top, I reckon. He's going to go to the top.
So Taylor has a player running around him in Newman.
Spinning backwards.
Taylor doesn't want to give it to Newman. Taylor, defender for Wanderers, hits it at 55 metres, gets the top, and he's not going to get the distance and accuracy. So the ball goes over. Liam Patrick was the last to touch it. And they're going to toss it in 10 metres around from the left post for Wanderers. 142 plays 32. It's a 110-point lead for St Mary's. 15 minutes gone, fourth quarter, sorry.
Boundary thrown easily won by Grenfell. Just slapped it out to a teammate in his captain, Paredes. Paredes off to the run of Lant. Lant on that left boot out towards Nicky Aaron at centre wing. Runs onto the footy beautifully. Handballs on the up to Robinson. Gets on his bike. Long bomb inside 50. Call to the target. Got two hands to it. Couldn't take the mark. Lavastida lays a tackle. Ball spills to Daniel Wheatra. Chips up to a teammate in Tassone. Drops the footy. Steps around Robinson nicely. Kicks it out wide. Finds a teammate in Newman who got back into really good position. He kicks up the line, goes to Marcus Totham. Left centre wing. Just steadying play down here for the Eagles. Up again to Tassone. Tassone now called to play on, steps around his opponent. Did nicely up towards Liam Patrick. Slippery ball, couldn't mark it, took it, got the handball away. Now stacks on it left half forward here for the Eagles. And the umpire will say, oh, we'll have it. So 15 minutes in here in this last quarter. St Mary's leading 142-32 on the Muzbuzz scoreboard. Muzbuzz on Osgood Drive. Great coffee on the go.
Ball thrown up. Grenfell gets it, but it's for Wanderers. The player down on the ground is Stanley Tipalura, who was had a bit of cramp before. Running past was young Bowden. Inside the forward 50 now for St Mary's. Calder uses his body well, but he's going to be called for a throw.
Doesn't matter, he threw it straight to Zilio Casimiro anyway.
And Wanderers will get out of trouble. Taylor has it at their defensive 50.
Mitchell Taylor with the mark. Been good for them, tried really hard. Up towards Garlick, takes that mark in the middle of the ground. Handballs off to Marlon Motlop. Motlop long bomb down towards Thomas Motlop. Contest between he and Gallus. Gallus got a fist in there. Thomas Motlop controlling the footy well. Holmer comes in to support. Confronted by Coluccio. Ball comes out to Klasky. Wheels around at left half back. Long kick down to Joseph Salmon at centre wing. Scoops away from his opponent there in Adams. Drilling kick, looking for Calder, cut off by Mitchell Taylor. Lavastida's there to put pressure on, lays the tackle. Handball comes out to Zilio Casimiro. Can the Eagles clear? Again, Lavastida got a touch on it as it came out to Cabillo. Lavastida still putting the pressure on in the forward pocket. Eventually it comes out to Newman, just bombs away. Grenfell stands underneath it, almost takes the mark. Spillage comes to Kieran Parnell, gets a kick away into the middle of the ground, and it will go to Joseph Salmon.
Salmon in the middle of the ground, wheels around, had three options, but it was an ugly kick off the boot. Cut off by Bates in the middle for Wanderers. He kicks it forward. Picking it up is Priest. Priest goes around from 60, delivers it to the top of the goal square, and Thomas Motlop throws his hands up in frustration. There's a number of players are down with cramp. Players coming off Grenfell. Yaron's walking off. Player in the middle of the park getting helped with cramp. This is a very warm night and both teams are doing a lot of running despite St Mary's with a huge lead here by 109 points. 18 minutes gone, final term.
Ball brought in and goes to Parnell. Parnell now spots up a teammate in Geordie McMurtry. He's done a good job on Simon Bates tonight. Geordie McMurtry hardly called Bates. McMurtry goes sideways to Shannon Rioli. Runs a little bit further forward and Rioli goes back to him. Just waxing a bit. Green down in back play for St Mary's. McMurtry up now to Klasky at half back. Just 10 metres in or so from the boundary. Rioli says go to Toa. He does exactly that. Toa on centre wing. Lamb calling for it. McMurtry calling for it again. Toa's going to go long down centre wing. Low ball, and Brodie Newman will cut that off very easily at right half-back.
Goes into the middle, and Wanderers player just standing there. Bowden now picks it off for St Mary's. A lot of turnovers here. Salmon gets it on the second grab, 60 metres from goal. Goes into the right forward pocket and finds the lead of Calder. And Calder wants to play on quickly because he is hugging the boundary, tries to wheel around. It's got to bounce through, it's got to bounce and be touched by Taylor on the last line of defence. They pick up their 11th behind. They move to 143. Wanderers 33, 20 minutes gone, final term.
Salmon just went to Calder with just so much confidence and belief. Didn't even know where he was leading. Would have just heard the voice, punched into space and just trusted his forward to mark it.
Which he did. So Mitchell Taylor bringing the ball back into play. That's a shocking kick. Kicks it straight to McMurtry, 48 from goal. McMurtry now just pops it up, looking for Calder. Got hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Taylor took it. Calder stole it back from him, snapped on the left boot and kicks his 9th. Does he have time? The scoreboard says there's 20 minutes down. Calder has 9. The scoreboard 23-11, 149. St Mary's. Wanderers 4-9-33. Thanks to Muzzbuzz on Osgood Drive. Great coffee on the go. You're an SEN top end footy for Chemist Warehouse and cfsgear.com.au. Calder kicking his 9th. Could he be that player of the day for Kazales, making a difference, Brenton Toy?
That's it. It's that second chance draw for Calder. He missed one just a minute earlier, but got a second chance. And like you said, he just stole it out of Mitchell Taylor's hands on his way through. But nice kick in by McMurtry, and definitely Dominic. He has got time to get his 10, and he'd wanted because Plusky and Lanta are really putting the heat on for that Kazales player of the day.
Big leap goes up is Adams, who's in the ruck now for Wanderers. Ball comes out. No one able to pick it up cleanly. The two number 10s go at it. Shannon Rioli and Totham dribbles out for Wanderers. Tassone was there. Goes over the top of Liam Patrick. They're now inside their forward 50. But St Mary's defenders have been great across their half-back. They cleared it out with a kick, but it's going to be cut off from Wanderers. High up and under. Trying to get under it for Wanderers was Priest. The ruckman's been moved down there for a bit. Coming out for St Mary's, though, is Robinson. He gets a hurried kick, and again, it has time for Adams, for Wanderers to pick it off. He goes to the outer wing, chipped back inside to Tassone for Wanderers. Running around was a Wanderers player who gives it off to Shane Thorne. He's 60 metres from goal. Umpire tells him to play on quickly. Great defensive work from Yarran. Marlon Motlop was the man that took the mark. Oh, Liam Patrick, no intent going up for it in the right forward pocket. Ball back inside for Wanderers. If he can pick it up, Tassone is in front of goals, but he can't. And St Mary's defenders again up to the task. And Shannon Rioli goes for a run. And St Mary's bring it out through Paredes. And they have Bowden away on the outer wing.
Bowden taking a nice mark. Kick not so good with the slippery footy. Finds Dustin Robinson. Was a great pick-up. Hand was great up to Paredes. His handball up to Shannon Rioli. Toe poked it. Somehow toe poked it and picked it up himself. Touches the ball to ground. Handball's inboard to Joseph Salmon. He's 20 metres out from goal. Goes back to Lavastida. Lavastida to Calder. Calder with the snap from 15 metres out. Kicks up point. They made a choice there. Does the 200 gamer kick it, or does the person who could kick 10 goals kick it? And they went to Calder. He's missed. 22 minutes gone in this quarter. 23-12, 150 plays 4-9-33 thanks to Muzzbuzz.
Kick in looking for Thorne. He's got two St Mary's players on it. Picking it up is McMurtry. Tries to go to the top of the square. And the man that was under it as the siren sounds is Calder. And he doesn't try to attempt the mark. But if he had a couple of seconds more, we just never know. If he could have taken that mark, he would have been directly in front. But he finishes the night on a handy 9 goals for St Mary's. What a mammoth effort for the third place St Mary's. St Mary's 23-12, 150 have defeated the fourth place Wanderers 4-9-33 in the final regular season match for both teams.
Thanks, Shannon Byrne. Well, what a game indeed from the St Mary's Footy Club. They led by 42 points at quarter time, 54 at half time, 104 at three-quarter time, and they finish off the game as 117-point victors. 23-12, 150 to 4-9-33. That is an incredible victory. I did not see that coming. Even with the players out from both teams, I did not see that sort of a victory from St Mary's. As Brent Toy and Shannon Byrne gather their thoughts, goal kickers. And we'll start off with Wanderers because that'll be very quick, unfortunately for them. Liam Patrick with 2 goals, one in the first and one in the second. Marlon Moffler kicked a goal in the second quarter, and Liam Garlick, their solitary goal scorer in the fourth quarter. For St Mary's, as you just heard, Jackson Calder with 9 and an opportunity to kick his 10th, but he missed it. 4 goals to Nick Yarra, 1 in the first, 2 in the third and 1 in the last. And I should go back to Jackson Calder actually and say he kicked 4 in the first quarter, 4 in the third quarter, and then 1 in the last quarter. The only goal that he kicked, which seemed to go to the non-scoring end for St Mary's in this game. So that's where his 9 came from. Dylan Land finished with 3, 1 in the first, 1 in the second and 1 in the third. 2 goals to Justin Robertson, both of those coming in the second half, 1 in the third and 1 in the fourth. Brandon Grenfell, 2 goals coming in the second and the third quarters, and then singles to Shannon Rioli, Ethan Bowden and Alexander Marclue. Henry Labastida, probably an opportunity a little moment ago, the 200 gamer to kick a goal, unselfishly gave that off to Calder, and neither of them ended up hitting the scoreboard. The other, of course, milestone players for this evening, as we see the 2 teams coming together, and I'm sure they're going to do something for each and every milestone player here. The other milestone players, Shane Thorne, 150, well done to him. Mitchell Taylor had a cracking game tonight, one of the sole defenders that did very well, another 150 gamer, and of course Thomas Motlop now becomes the Wanderers games record holder, taking over from Ponce Cabillo with 208 games. He has of course played more games than that in the NTFL competition, played a number of seasons with the Nightcliff Tigers, but he becomes the games record holder at Wanderers. So an amazing effort here from St Mary's, and Brenton, while that's a really positive performance for them, they will be hoping that their next game against Wanderers is not a mirror of what happened last year, because they thumped Wanderers in the corresponding game last year and then put in a woeful performance the week later. They'll be really wanting to make sure that their performance next week, which will now be against Waratah, is a much, much better performance.
Absolutely, and they'll be wanting to make sure that they're peaking at the right time. Wanderers are still going to be a threat, obviously very